moving on, President John Dramani Mahama has, in accordance with Article 146 of the Constitution, forwarded petitions for the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission and her 2 deputies to the Chief Justice Paul Bafubani for determination of a prima facie case against them. The Office of the President received a cumulative of 10 petitions seeking the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. According to 3FM sources, 7 of the petitions were filed by private citizens for the removal of the EC chair and her deputies. The remaining 3 are seeking the removal of the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejabin, alleging various misconduct by the heads of the 2 institutions. Now, private legal practitioner Martin Pebu says the petitions are in order and should go through the process.
So you see, the case have been building up all this, last month and this month, that Kisi Ejabin has lost the plot. He's aided Oforiatta to go, to flee from Ghana, the most valuable suspect, a man who had 5 cases on his head. Yet Kisi Ejabin could not blow the whistle to enable the Ghanaian people stop Oforiatta from traveling. So, yes, these petitions, they are good. And I'm also reviewing mine. I'll go and add mine latest on Wednesday. When we go into the hearing, etc., you will see. This one will be more explosive. This one, look, you have no idea.
Wow.
Yeah, no, Kisi will not survive this, my petition.
Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. Then, now before we go, the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization is urging government to fast-track the passage of the revised Disability Act. The Ghana Federation of Disability Organization says since the Disability Act, Act 715, was passed in 2006 of June, its implementation has been slow. According to the Federation, gaps in the current law continue to hinder access to education, employment, healthcare, transport, and justice for persons with disability.
We continue to face inequalities. We want a strengthened Disability Act that will modernize Ghana legal framework, ensure clearer institutional responsibilities. We stand ready to partner with government, parliament, and all stakeholders to ensure that the revised act is passed and effectively implemented. And what we are saying is that the time to act is now. Ghana must not delay any further.
And that was a member of the National Disability Representative, Martha Kofi, there. That's our first package for you this morning. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyunam Pelika. Business News is right on.
92.7 3 FM. 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 92.7 3 FM.
You see on Sunrise 3FM 92.7. Coming up this morning, Bank of Ghana governor set to announce new capital requirement for non-interest banking and finance sector as regulatory guidelines nears completion.
We expect some windows to be established. We also expect some fully fledged non-interest bank to be established.
Also, the Association of Ghana Industries rages over 31 billion cedis import tax scandal, warning it threatens Ghana's industrial competitiveness.
Harmonize and clear all these equivalent transactions that support the transfer of dollars out of our country and makes our economy weaker.
Also, the Millennium Development Authority launches University Innovation Hubs to power 24-hour economy.
How do we ensure that we can help reduce the unemployment, especially with our youth? And the idea there is to have the infrastructure in place and bring in organizations that can train our youth.
Details of these and other stories, please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now to our first story. The Bank of Ghana is set to announce a new capital requirement framework for non-interest banking and finance, commonly known as Islamic banking. The disclosure was made by the advisor to the Central Bank, Professor John Gachi, at the 2025 Continuous Professional Development and Induction Seminar organized by the Association of Certified Chartered Economists in Accra.
Non-interest banking and finance, NIBF, operates on Sharia principles that prohibit the charging of interest. Instead, it focuses on profit sharing, asset-backed financing, and ethical investments. The model has been expanding globally, with Ghana positioning itself to fully regulate and deepen its participation in this alternative financial system. Speaking on the topic, the viability of non-interest banking in capitalist economy, the advisor to the Bank of Ghana revealed that the regulatory framework is nearing completion and will be announced by the governor soon.
We expect some windows to be established. We also expect some fully fledged non-interest bank to be established. I'm aware some conventional banks are upbeat about establishing a window, and that will definitely happen.
The event also explored pressing global economic concerns. Senior research lead and financial consultant Dr. Edmond Nkrumah warned that escalating global trade wars are beginning to distort investment flows, disrupt employment, and slow overall economic growth.
Africa is just gaining about 0.04% of GDP. And why are you saying what? A lot, because Africa is not well connected with the international world. So Ghana, which is just like a $250 billion economy, definitely will shrink when there is, there's this form of trade wars.
Technology and data innovation also took center stage. Assistant Registrar at the Sunyani Technical University, Philemon Jaba, urged economists to embrace artificial intelligence tools or risk being overtaken by them.
The danger is when you don't use AI. That is where somebody who knows AI will take your job. Because now certification only tick the box. What is a differentiator is AI.
And that was a report to the Bank of Ghana set to announce new capital requirement for non-interest banking and financial sector. Now, the outgoing president of the Association of Ghana Industries, Humphrey Enyimdake, has expressed concern over the finance minister's revelation of more than 31 billion Ghana cedis transferred through import declaration taxes without any goods backing them. He says addressing such anomalies is crucial to improving Ghana's industrial competitiveness.
Speaking at the 14th edition of the AGI Ghana Industry and Quality Awards in Accra, Dr. Enyimdake called for stronger enforcement and full digitization of the import declaration form system to curb revenue leakages and support growth in a proposed 24-hour economy.
We welcome the full digitization of the IDF system as the government seeks to roll out through an AI system in the month of March to perfect and harmonize and clear all these scrupulous transactions that support the transfer of dollars out of our country and makes our economy weaker.
Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari, expressed her commitment to ensuring a hassle-free market access for the industrial sector.
As part of addressing market access bottlenecks in our sub-region, I have initiated a high-level bilateral engagement with my colleague ministers of Trade and Industry, especially on mutual recognition agreements. I wish to use these platforms to discuss challenges with payment of goods and services procured by our neighboring countries.
Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman reaffirmed that government's much-touted flagship programs will support industrial sector growth.
For Ghanaian industries then, this is about expanding agricultural production and ensuring a stable supply of raw materials to support the growth of agri-industries.
The awards, organized under the theme Creating a Conducive Business Environment and Quality Standards for Industrial Competitiveness in a 24-hour Economy, celebrated outstanding businesses contributing to national development.
That was a report from my colleague Bismarck Ewusa. Now to one of our headline stories. As part of efforts to reduce unemployment, the Millennium Development Authority is collaborating with other agencies to establish innovation hubs on tertiary institutions in the country. According to acting CEO of MIDA, Alex Mould, he says hubs, among all other things, will serve as centers to discuss and create jobs in line with government's 24-hour economy policy.
Government seeks to establish each of these innovation hubs on every tertiary campus to make the transition from university to the job market seamless.
The idea here is how do we ensure that we can help reduce the unemployment, especially with our youth. So we're working with the universities to see how we can set up innovation hubs. We're currently working on one with University of Ghana under the Ministry of Communications in Legon. And the idea there is to have the infrastructure in place and bring in organizations that can train our youth to be able to do work that they will be getting from institutions outside the country.
MIDA, originally established to implement the US-funded MCC Compact, has taken on an expanded role as a national delivery agency for agricultural transformation efforts under the 24-hour economy.
We're working with the 24-hour economy. The current thing we're working on is the Volta Lake Corridor Transportation Program, where we're going to improve how goods are transported using the Volta Lake and reducing the toll on our roads and also the expense. It's far cheaper using waterway than rail and far cheaper than roads. Bringing primary irrigation to these enclaves. And we're talking about 50,000 acre type enclaves, not small farms. Working with the outgrowers in that area as well, bringing anchor farmers, private sector to execute these.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Millennium Development Authority, Alex Mould. Then now, before we go, let's take a look at how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some key commodities are also faring on the global market.
Interbank foreign exchange market, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis, 30 pesos. It gained 3 pesos. The British pound is selling at 14 cedis, 97 pesos. It gained 7 pesos. The euro is selling at 13 cedis, 5 pesos. It also gained 9 pesos. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. The global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $63.15 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,239.82 per ounce, up by 39 cents. Cocoa is trading at $5,556 per ton, up by $52.
And that was the business news here on Sunrise 3FM 92.7. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyuna Maliga. Sunrise continues.
92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM.
Where you should be keeping your dial 3FM 92.7 as we serve you breakfast from now till 10 a.m. I am Mawuena. The rest of my colleagues, Helen Appiah-Ampofo, Sixtus, Ullo, production, Frederick Kunzo Tiani, Sandra, DJ Abiyam, all on hands-on-deck approach as we seek to make your morning the best of the best. We started the morning with our word of the day, talking about resolve and why you must strive to go one further step, take that extra mile, and ensure that it counts. Because, like I was telling you, resolve is not the absence of struggle. It is the refusal to surrender, meaning. And so go out today, resolve to push your best foot forward and to do all that you can. Just one more step, no matter how difficult it is. We'll get into our weather for you pretty shortly with Felicity Ahafianyo. She's chief weather forecaster at the Ghana Meteorological Agency. From then, we'll get into the newspapers, after which these two numbers will be very, very important. And so why don't you put them down right now? 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, as well as 055-691-0154, 055-691-0154. As always, a pleasure to have you call and be a part of the show, because your voice matters to us, and that's why we seek to hear it every morning here on the 3FM Sunrise. If you cannot reach out to us via the phones, why don't you go onto our social media handles? 3FM 927 on Facebook. That's where we're streaming live right now. If you go onto Facebook, 3FM 927. We're on YouTube as well, 3FM 927. The show is streaming live. You can, in the comment section, leave a message for us if you cannot call us, and we'll do the reading for you. Alternatively, you can find us on Twitter, now known as X, 3FM 927. Leave a message for us there, or send a post. These days they call it a post, but we grew up calling it a tweet. Send a tweet at me with the username at Mawuena Eric, and I'll be sure on hand to read those messages for you. Or you can use the hashtag 3FM Sunrise, and then you leave a message for us on Twitter as well. And so this is the show for you today. It's an action-packed show filled with lots of goodness, and then seeking to put you first in all of the conversations that we will seek to have this morning. A lot to unravel, a lot to unpack for you every morning here on the show. But let's do our weather quickly in terms of what the Ghana Meteorological Agency have been sharing on social media, because I get the indication this morning we are unable to reach Felicity Ahafianyo. And so this morning, mist or fog patches are expected to form over areas along the coastal, forest and mountainous areas, reducing visibility. Sunny weather with occasional cloudiness is expected to prevail across all sectors as the day progresses. However, localized thunderstorms or rain are expected to affect parts of the coastal, middle transition and the western portions of the northern sector this afternoon into the evening. The remaining portions of the northern sector will experience fairly dry and slightly hazy conditions throughout the forecast period. Notable, relatively cool nights and early morning temperatures are expected over the upper regions. That's our weather for you this morning. Let's get into a bit more in terms of motivational music, right with Luigi McLean with Mawuena.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#.
Years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversation.
We're doing 23 to the top of the hour here on the 3FM Sunrise, and of the many things that we'll seek to do is get into a lot of what the newspapers have been saying this morning as well for you, and then get you a bit more in terms of context, in terms of development, because big on the front pages of the newspapers is Utumfo Osei-Tutu's mediation talks in the Boku Chieftaincy conflicts. That's big on the front page of the Daily Graphic this morning, where they lead Boku conflicts mediation. Parties embrace after final meeting Asantehene to present peace plan to President Mahama. That's huge on the front page of the newspaper. That story by Gilbert Mauli Agbe. We'll get into it for you if you stay with us. Poor WASSCE results. Chief examiner's report showed guide solutions as according to experts. 24-hour economy yields results. Vice President highlights gains, and BOG prepares to license first non-interest bank. Those are the front page stories here on the Daily Graphic. On the back page, Federation of Disability Organizations calls for fast track of revised law and net metering portal for clean energy access launched. Timothy Nengbe writes that one, and I have a good idea of what that seeks to do, this net metering portal for clean energy. And so if you're a solar user and you have more than you need in terms of your grid, the government says they will buy the excess energy off you and add it to the national grid. And so that's an opportunity to make some good money for yourself as well. The Ghanaian Times is next. Let's promote sustainable food production. Minister urges corporate Ghana. That's Eric Opoku, who is the Minister for Food and Agriculture. NHIS tariff to be increased by 120%. That's according to the Health Minister. Asante Hene concludes Boku mediation set to brief President Mahama. Also here, killing of former NPP chairman. High Court discharges Gregory Afoku along the Asapki. This story has developed for a very long time. For the family of the late NPP former, for the individual who was killed, still a lot of questions to be answered. But for the persons who've been standing trial for years, still a lot to be said about them, and the fact that whether or not fair free trial has been handed over to them is one of the many things we'll seek to get into on this newspaper review for you as well. GPHA's Dr. Nchibo Isiako named 2025 Public Sector PR Leader of the Year. On the back page, take necessary precautions on Hamatan to stay healthy. The Ministry of Health is advising, and 2 million express 2M express drivers, I beg your pardon, management undergo emotional intelligence training. This one will interest a lot of people. The new finder here as well. They lead with government projected to mobilize 225.9 billion cedis revenue in 2025. Gold Board unveils Ghana's first 24-hour digital gold showroom. Excessive reliance on treasury bills hurting private sector, and analysts there, and GES dismisses claims of manipulation in 2025 results. The back page, they don't have any stories there, and so we proceed on to the Daily Guide. Mahama forwards EC Chair SP removal petitions to CJ. Is on the front page of the Daily Guide. In fact, it's a huge front page story. Just for those of you who are following on YouTube and Facebook as well, that's what the Daily Guide is leading with, and comes with a picture of both Jean Mensah and Kisie Jabe as well. Bandai MP challenges rerun order at Supreme Court. Boku dispute mediation. Otunfo calls for calm. Aid scale over 12,600 in 2024, and so strap on. As the advice, I think now will be a good time to bring back Rangers Collins session where he was complaining about why condom usage has dropped. Afoko Asapke freed over Adams Mahama murder. That's also on the front page of the Daily Guide. The Daily Post, zipline drones delivering condoms as emergency service. The health minister has revealed. Wow. Perhaps the details will help us understand really what's happening. NHIS tariffs to rise 120% as Mahama Cares begins operations. NPA boss praises Ghana's religious harmony and tolerance, and government confirms petitions against EC chair, deputies, and special prosecutor forwarded to Chief Justice. On the back page, Veron banned over refusal to form a guard of honor. Jose Mourinho eyeing January move for Bayern Munich star, and Duplantis and McLaughlin Levron named World Athletes of the Year. If you know Mundo Duplantis, you know that's the poll votes there of Anakwa. The Independent is the last paper I have. 2026 World Cup, a major branding opportunity for Ghana. Chief of Staff. Petition Pettifo advocates for homegrown investment in Africa. That's also here. High Court frees Gregory Afoku after prolonged adjournment. Huakpo stool disputes rekindled, and petitions for EC chair, deputies, and SP before Chief Justice for legal review. On the back page, Black Queens begin training in Aston Villa facility ahead of December 2 friendly with Lionesses of England. That game is today. We missed the game dynamics. Rafinha brings Barcelona head coach states. Okay, let me read that again. We missed the game dynamics Rafinha brings. That's according to Hansi Flick. A lot of the Barca fans who are listening this morning as well. We beat you still, so try as you may. Chelsea did beat you. But let's get into the details of some of the stories, even as we ready ourselves for a bit more in terms of what to expect, particularly on that Boku mediation conversation. And a number of the papers have it on their front pages this morning as well. The Graphic, Ghanaian Times, as well as the Daily Guide as well. All of them have that story on the front page, and perhaps a good time as well. We'll connect with William Evansinkum pretty shortly to get a bit more in terms of the details. But that story, like I mentioned, is on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. It's by Gilbert Mauli Agbe. It reads that the Asantehene Otumfuo II is set to present the findings of his mediation effort in the Boku conflict to President John Dramani Mahama after concluding a process intended to find a lasting solution to the decades-old dispute fueled by chieftaincy issues. The concluding deliberations at the Menchia Palace yesterday were characterized by heavy security, with the Mamprose and Kuksasi parties well represented in their leadership, and tribesmen and tribeswomen both inside and outside the palace. A report will contain a roadmap to achieving lasting peace in a conflict that has claimed hundreds of lives over the years. Otumfuo has served as the sole mediator in the dispute, which has also resulted in extensive property destruction, maimed many, and left the once vibrant border community almost desolate. After approximately 5 hours of discussions between Otumfuo and reps from the Kusasi and Mamprose factions, including their lawyers, hundreds of supportive members from both groups erupted in celebration, each claiming victory. Lawyers from both sides interacted freely, smiling and shaking hands in the biggest sign of potentially successful mediation process. A source close to the meeting told the Daily Graphic that the Asantehene did not declare a definitive winner or loser. The source explained that unlike court proceedings, mediation process focused on reaching an acceptable agreement for all parties. The source indicated that Otumfuo took the opportunity to review all the arguments advanced by the parties since the mediation began. And tight security, near disturbance, because there was near disturbance at some point, particularly when both sides were jumping for victory, but the police and the military were swift to quell whatever tension may arise as a result of that. And that is what is the latest on the Boku chieftaincy matter. On other stories, one that will interest a lot of people is this claim by the health minister that zipline drones were being used to deliver condoms as emergency service. And so that story is on page 3. And let me see. It's 3, 4, 6, and 7 is where the story is. Interesting development. But let's get into it. And gone are the days where you hear service providers shutting down on top of their voices on the rooftops that they were going to withdraw services because they were not receiving payment. And this is no more the case as I speak to you now, the minister stated. So I think I'm reading from the middle part of the story. Let me try and get into the meat of it. But it starts off with the NHI's tariffs to rise by 120%. I wonder why they did that. They say condoms as headline, and then they're starting with tariffs, right? So on the 120% tariffs, the Minister of Health, who announced this at the Accountability Series press conference yesterday, said the decision responds to long-standing complaints from health facilities about unrealistic payment rates under the scheme. The service providers have been complaining that the tariffs we give them are unrealistic, and so government has taken the decision to increase the tariffs about 120% on average. And I believe this is going to be a game changer. The minister said the fund, that's the Mahama Cares Fund, established to support patients with non-communicable diseases, has passed legislation, inaugurated its board, and set up a functioning secretariat that has started disbursing funds for patient care. The bill has been passed into an act. The board has been inaugurated. Secretariat is in full operation, and therefore they've started disbursement for patient care at the at the moment. Mr. Akando explained. He outlined a simple application process where specialist medical doctors apply on behalf of patients, with the secretariat required to respond within 14 days of receiving the application, he said. So a bit more in terms of that. On the zipline story now, right? The minister said government will not abandon any uncompleted health facility, promising to continue work on La General Hospital, Komfo-Anokye Maternity Block, Setchwe Regional Hospital, Agenda 111 project, and CHIPS compounds across districts. In separate remarks, I cannot question the value of the zipline drone service contract signed in 2018, revealing Ghana pays over 500,000 monthly, despite most deliveries not serving had to reach areas or emergency. The minister disclosed that government pays 88,000 per center per month for 6 centers operating under the contract that took effect in 2019. I'm still skimming through. Well, that bit about service delivery not quite captured on the front page of the paper just as yet. And on to the Daily Guide now, because they lead with quite a number of stories as well in relation to the president forwarding some petitions. Yesterday, the Daily Graphic reported that story. It appears to have caught the attention of a lot more individuals in terms of what is happening on that front. And so let's get you the details right now. And President Mahama has forwarded to the Chief Justice 10 petitions calling for the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, and the 2 deputies, as well as Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejabe. Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, Felix Ofosu, speaking yesterday, confirmed receipt of the petitions and indicated that they are now in the hands of Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, who is expected to deal with them in accordance with law. The confirmation comes just few days after news surfaced that an employee of the EC, Joseph Blankton Adumadi, had petitioned the president to remove the EC chair and her 2 deputies. It later emerged that he is currently on interdiction for allegedly stealing equipment belonging to his employers. And so that story there. Let me do the Afoko-Asapke freed over Adams Mahama murder as well. And a high court in Accra has discharged Gregory Afoko and Asapke Alangdi, who were standing trial for the murder of then Upper East Regional Chair of the New Patriotic Party, Adams Mahama. The decision of the court, presided over by Justice Mary Lucy Simmons, came as a result of the failure of the Attorney General to take a decisive position on the case, which has been before 3 separate courts since 2015. In February this year, Gregory Afoko pleaded not guilty, the 3rd time he was doing so, to 1 count of murder and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. Around the same time, he was granted 500,000 bail with 2 sureties who must be justified. His co-accuser, Sapti Alangdi, who was found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment for conspiracy to murder, also pleaded not guilty to murder. And this was the 3rd time in about 10 years that Afoko was standing trial for the murder of Adams Mahama. Let's talk about the 3rd trial, right? So Gregory Afoko was on the 3rd round of trial after the first trial was truncated in 2019 by the Office of the Attorney General following the arrest of Asapke Alangdi, who fled the country after the incident in May 2015. The 2nd trial ended on April 27, 2023, with a 7-member jury presenting a verdict that shocked many. The jury, by a 4-3 decision, found Gregory Afoko not guilty of conspiring to murder the late Adams Mahama but unanimously found his co-accused Asapke Alangdi guilty of the same offense. The jury, however, by 4-3 decision, found the 2 accused persons not guilty of the substantive charge of murder, thereby resulting in a hung jury and a retrial by a different jury. Part of the prosecution's fact states that the deceased returned home at about 11 p.m. in a pickup vehicle when the suspect poured the substance suspected to be acid on his head, face, and other parts of his body and fled on a motorbike. Adams Mahama reportedly identified Afoko as a person who poured the acid on him. And it comes back to the point I was making about what happens to the family as well. 10 years of trial, and the criminal justice system has not been able to deliver. Well, it's delivered in some parts, if you want to argue, because they returned a verdict, one that they found Appiah-Ampofo guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. They didn't find Afoko guilty of a conspiracy. On the substantive charge of whether or not they committed the murder, the jury did not find them guilty as well. The question then comes, when does all of this come to an end as well, is the question that begs serious answers as well. And so we will see what the reaction will be going forward as to this development as well. But on the Boko story, my colleague William Evansinkum put together this report in the aftermath of yesterday's meeting by the Utumfo.
Security was heightened at the Mensha Palace hours before the arrival of the two ethnic groups. The Kusau delegation arrived at 11:30 a.m., 30 minutes before the arrival of the Mampusi delegation. Outside the walls of the Mensha Palace, supporters of both ethnic groups gather in anticipation. Peace is the target, and both appear committed to ending the years of conflict. But a calm situation almost turned sour when a member of one of the ethnic groups was hit by a motorbike. A swift military and police intervention restored calm.
This is the Kusau just behind me, and from here it's just a walking distance, not even up to 20 steps. Then you also get to the Mampusi. The only thing that separates them is this particular narrow road, and that is a very small gap. Now to them, this has been the situation for many years, and today they are expecting one thing to happen: a perpetual peace that will renew that restoration of the brotherly love that once existed between them. And they believe that whichever way it goes, they are ready to accept it. William Evans Inkom, and Share Palace, Kumasi.
So that report put together by William Evansinkum on the situation, we know that there's the expectation that all of the decisions, and it's important to mention that in mediation, like one of the graphic story was saying, there's no winner, there's no loser. What we're seeking to do is find lasting solutions. And this is a promise of the president when he assumed office. Very first things, of the many first things he did, actually, he went to the Boku area and promised to end the age-old conflicts in that part of the country. So it's very important as well that the Utumfo-led committee has arrived finally at a conclusive report which they can take to the president, after which we will see what the roadmap will be. But yesterday as well, we know there was heightened security in different parts of that part of the country. There were reports that all throughout the weekend there had been as well some skirmishes in that part of the country, but a lot has gone on to bring lasting peace to the area, and we will see what the next steps will be after the Utumfo-led committee's work has come to a halt. But here's what the president said really briefly when he went back to the township some month ago, if I can say.
If you remember, I came here to seek the blessings of my father for the election, and God granted our heart's desire, and I got elected. And so my first mission was to come and say thank you to him. Again, during the campaign, I stated that if God granted our desire and I was elected president, bringing peace to Boko was going to be one of my #1 priorities. So today is exactly 1 week when I was sworn in at the Black Star Square. And it's my first major assignment outside Accra. And so I decided to come and assure you that we're going to work very hard to make sure that we bring peace back to Boko. I remember when I was president, Boko and surrounding areas were very peaceful. And work was going on, people were going about their duties. It's sad that this situation has occurred again. And I know that for the last 3 years, you have not been able to sleep. You've been living under stress. And so the priority of our government will be to bring peace back to Boko so that everybody can go about his duties without fear of harassment. We want to assure you that we're putting in place the various appointments so that we can have ministers and other officials who are responsible for the security to take charge. And so within this week, we will do the appointments of the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Interior, the National Security Advisor, the National Security Coordinator, the BNI Director, and all the others. And when these appointments are made, I'm going to charge them to make Boko one of the #1 priorities that they attend and deal with. And so I'll appeal to you to exercise patience, exercise restraint, and to let you know that I am apprised of the issue. I'm going to deal with it, and I can assure you, have trust in myself and this administration that by the grace of God, peace is going to come back. Permanent peace is going to come back to Boko. And so as my younger brother...
So that's the President, John Dramani Mahama, a week exactly after he was sworn in, making the journey to Boko and promising them lasting peace. And so this latest work by the Otumfuo-led committee bound to be one of the many things upon which he will look forward to in using as one of the many tools to have lasting peace return to the Boko township as well. Let's get you into a bit more in terms of some of the developments from yesterday as well, because we know that the health minister, like I was telling you about, I was reading some of the stories, has been speaking to a number of developments from the sector, particularly on the zipline drone and many other things. What exactly is the concern in terms of addressing some of the health needs, the Mahama Cares program, and how well it is being used to ensure that the rest of the country benefits? Let's take you back to just brief excerpts yesterday again from what the minister had to say.
And that is obviously about 9.4% in increase in the 2023 budget, and then it also represents more than 11% of the total expenditure in 2026. Out of these amounts, we have the National Health Insurance Scheme, that takes around 11 billion. And as I indicated the last time, we are voted into power to solve problems. And so we inherited some challenges with respect to the National Health Insurance Scheme. If you all recall, the National Health Insurance was capped, and it was bedeviled with delay in the payment of claims, unrealistic payment of tariffs, and a lot more, co-payments. And so since we took office, His Excellency, one of the policy directives he gave was to uncap the National Health Insurance, so it still remains uncapped. And there is now prompt releases of funds to the National Health Insurance Fund. Gone were the days where you hear service providers shouting on top of their voices on the rooftop that they were going to withdraw services because they were not receiving payment. And this is no more the case as I speak to you now. In some cases, my CEO will have to call even some of the service providers to bring their claims for payment. That is the current status of the National Health Insurance Authority. And so it is not by coincidence that there is a lot of confidence in the National Health Insurance Scheme. The coverage was around 18 million people as at the time we took office, and I can confidently report that in a matter of less than 1 year, we are around 20 million people, which represent about 60% coverage. And beginning next year, we are going to increase the tariffs in the National Health Insurance to the service providers, because it is something that the service providers have been complaining about, that the tariffs we give them are unrealistic. And so government has taken the decision to increase the tariffs about 120% on average. And I believe this is going to be a game changer. Again, we all know that primary health care accounts to about 80% of our health needs, especially in this country. And so when we have our primary health care right, I think that we'll have a very strong health sector. So His Excellency the President has directed that beginning next year, we have to roll out what we call free primary health care.
As a health minister, Kwabena Minta Kando, just brief excerpt in terms of what it is that you had to share with the Ghanaian people. I'll try and find a bit about condoms and the fact that Zipline is delivering condoms as emergency service.
Oh, wonderful.
And I'm sure that will interest a lot of you. But good morning to you, Helen and Sixtus as well.
The way you read that headline with some, it's just the word, with some mockery in your tone. I mean, is it wrong if we delivered condoms?
Condom is not emergency.
It's an emergency.
Let's
what do you mean?
We don't pay 30 euros or something per delivery for condoms to be delivered.
Is that how much the Zipline delivery cost per person?
No. The cost, the debt left behind, right?
No, as in per drone delivery, is that the amount?
Yeah, I should think so.
80 million?
No, not 80 million.
No. 30 euro every time a Zipline makes a transaction.
Makes a drop, so
makes a drop,
30 euros. Okay. Listen, I'm not sure. Convert it.
I'm not sure.
Resist the temptation.
I'm not sure.
About 420 Ghana cedis, something like that. Maybe 450 Ghana cedis.
Resist.
Yeah, about 450 Ghana cedis.
So you can't do that and then it's a pack of condoms. I'm trying to find...
What do you mean by it is not an emergency?
It is not. Let's be very honest with ourselves.
It's an emergency.
What are you talking about?
We can have all the conversation, but
I'm
not sure.
having this conversation about HIV/AIDS and how people are doing raw and increasing risk.
When you know the figures, the HIV figures that are soaring, you wish to have a 450 CD bill as opposed to a 450 million CD bill when it comes to
a serious matter.
Dealing and treating HIV.
And these things go to far to rich areas.
That's right.
Right.
Condoms.
Yes. Places where it's not
far to rich areas. You carry the condoms there.
Condoms being delivered by drone.
Yes.
No.
They are going to areas where they cannot reach it.
Wait until you read the justification. Don't say you
I will never buy it.
You buy it.
No, I'm being honest. I will never buy it. When
Why
there's
not?
snake serum that could be delivered, there's blood that could be transferred.
So you see the problem. You think the snake serum is more important
Prevalent.
than
In fact, if you put
condom.
the numbers together on a together, the HIV is causing you more problem than an isolated.
Me, I'm not jumping to conclusions. I want to see the justification. We'll see the location. We'll see why there was the need to carry condoms by drone.
Yeah.
Then I can make my decision. But to outrightly say no, because we all know how important condoms are. And in a lot of these areas that the drone flew to, I mean, they didn't have access was the problem.
Yeah.
So if the condoms are not reaching that area, and it became necessary to send condoms via drone to avert some maybe imploding crisis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a justification I'm likely to buy.
Absolutely.
I just want to hear it. That's all. You think because you are in Accra, you can just walk into the pharmacy and buy a condom?
Let me have us listen to the minister.
Discussion has to do with the fact that they were not going to pay from the government of Ghana fund. And some other stakeholders were engaged, and I've had the opportunity to verify from them, including the GMA then. And same argument was advanced. And apart from saying this on the floor of the House, government of Ghana has paid a lot of money to the zip line. Apart from that, their services was to concentrate on the hard-to-reach areas and emergency services. But upon review of the activities, what we have realized is that the hard-to-reach areas constitute only 12% of the activities, 12%, 1-2. And emergency services is 4% of the activities. And it will interest you to know some of the items they fly. Items like condom, blood donor cards, not blood donor cards, mosquito nets, food and nutrition items, adhesive tapes, syringes and needles, education materials, among other things, textbooks, exercise books, uniforms, and a lot more. So these are some of the items they have been flying. And so when we came to office, we think that there must be value for money. And therefore, we are engaging them. So if you hear that we are not engaging Zipline, it's not true. We have met more than 3 times, and we are still engaging them to know how we can have value for money.
That's the health minister. I don't know which part of this, unless this is like propaganda in some of the purest of forms. I like I said, I don't see condoms. And the items he mentioned, syringes I believe could be of emergency because they are needed in hard to reach areas and all of that. And so I make that exemption. Syringes I could understand. Condoms,
I still stick by that.
I disagree.
I still stick by that.
Our politics is such that always when the government changes hands, there are interesting ways or interesting discoveries that are made, and upon that, contracts are terminated. Right? And so I'm torn between coming to the conclusion that, this is one of the many things that we see play out with our politics. A reason will be given. And I mean, any Ghanaian listening to this, and that's my immediate reaction, why in God's name are we transporting condoms via drone that costs us 30 euros plus
per drop? With that in particular, I think Sixtus had a point that if we get further and better particulars, it's necessary. You know that sexually transmitted diseases are on the rise, and anything that can be circumvented to ensure that we are not draining our public purse
is actually in the right direction. I don't know for the condoms, apart from when he mentioned it being sent to a far-to-reach area, what the diagnosis was in terms of maybe the figures there, maybe gonorrhea outbreak, maybe HIV. And as for that one, dear, you can't discount that at all. The eventual drain on the purse when these things get out of hand is far worth more than that 450 CD per drop.
I do not disagree.
Yeah.
But I am just saying that maybe I've been on a craft for too long, or anytime I have traveled, I have mostly been in capitals. Maybe. And so I will not seek to, because I won't say I've traveled, but I've visited
You've been here and been there. And whenever you've gone to the pharmacy, you've spotted a condom or two.
I've not visited the pharmacy as frequently as I would on my every travel.
You see the way he's running away.
No, because he's giving us an account of what he's seen when he's gone to these capitals. He sees that there's condoms around.
I am tempted to want to argue that condoms are not the only thing on that list. And so I want to make like a point. I want to distinguish the issues, right? Or to separate them, and to say that, one, there is a problem if these are some of the items Zipline is delivering. If what the minister is telling us is accurate, because I'm tempted to. I told you my dilemma that we often find too many reasons, sometimes very flimsy reasons, and then we terminate contract agreement. And so this could be one of such. Wildest of allegations, wildest of claims, wildest of a lot of things. Because textbooks being transported, blood donor cards. It's not blood. Why should it be on a Zipline drone? Going to, when you can take a picture of it and send it to the person who is asking for the card, if it has to be used to deliver an emergency service. You understand? So a host of these items which were mentioned by the minister as not giving us value for money, wholeheartedly, if that's the case, I support, because we don't have better particulars to know. Then if we zero in on the things again, I make the point that condoms, school uniforms, zero. They don't make any sense. That's the point I'm making. You can agree and say that, condoms are, but I will never.
We can certainly agree to disagree.
Where I will say that
the man has taken an entrenched position.
As for this, I'll be entrenched.
Without even getting the details.
As to why condoms are being transported as
you see, Helen made an important point when she said that we need to know the dynamics, what went into it, what were the prevailing circumstances. Why was it necessary to do this? If whoever did the transaction can provide that justification, then it provides all of us a platform to be able to then do that analysis. But without the benefit of that, then you already take a position that it's a no-no.
Why I tackle you?
Please do.
Personally, even with the condom issue, and I don't even say it lightly, even without the further and better particulars, if they could send down this drone to send condoms everywhere, whether or not you are in a deprived area or not, because of the ramifications. When you listen to the AIDS Commission, I've been to a number of engagements this year centered on sexual health, and you hear the reality on the ground. We are not taking the sexual health and sexual awareness
at all.
We are not doing a good job. It is scary. As for some of the other items, I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. The uniforms and but me, when it comes to the condom, if government roll out a policy to have drones drop it all over the capital,
we can all agree that this cannot be an emergency.
It cannot be an emergency.
So can condoms not be an emergency?
Condoms can be.
As for the condoms,
so it's fine. It's fine that we don't agree on
the helicopter will even drop it everywhere.
If you had the benefit of the fact and you took that position, I won't have a problem. But you read a headline, and then you took a position that this is a no-no. No, it is not fair to whichever public sector worker did this transaction.
You are free to play the devil's advocate.
No, I'm not playing. I'm seriously on this point. I'm not doing devil's advocacy. No.
Let me make the point again. When Zipline received the contracts upon which, and all of this, again, I want to listen to this. I want to make the point that provided everything the minister has said is true.
Right.
That's a point I'm making, because we're tempted not to believe everything you hear. I don't believe everything I hear. So provided, right, if you look at what was promised us when Zipline was coming in, emergency medical delivery service.
Right.
We're talking about blood. We're talking about medicine which could not reach, which were difficult to reach certain areas. We're talking about
even I think the syringes that were mentioned.
That's why I said
equipment.
I classify syringes as very important. There is nowhere in this world where we have to shoot a drone from Accra or wherever
to the hinterlands,
to say that we are delivering condoms as an emergency service.
There's no way. What do you mean by there's no way in the world?
There is no basis.
How many systems? How many health delivery systems are you familiar with? That you make that bold statement that there's no way in the world.
When we run an analysis of healthcare services that should be qualified or quantified as emergency. Making condoms available, no matter the health risk associated with widespread STI infestation, condoms cannot, will not, must not fall within the category of things that must be delivered under emergency service. That can be done through forward planning.
Where were these condoms flown to?
We don't know.
We don't know actually.
So you don't even know where.
We don't
you see my problem with Mawuena.
We don't know where.
So you know next to nothing about this transaction.
There cannot be.
He's saying it doesn't matter where they send the condom.
Forward planning.
Whether they send it to an area where HIV is at 80%, whether they send it to an area where children are being born with chlamydia.
If you are talking about forward planning, then even blood can never be an emergency. You want us to go down there? If you are talking about forward planning, then we should never ever reach a point where you say that there's an emergency for blood. But even in Kolebu here, there's always an emergency.
Do we take blood to Kolebu via the drones?
Oh, what are you saying? Why are you deviating?
No, I'm not deviating.
I think
I'm saying that even in Kolebu, we are talking about emergencies. My point is,
you finish the point.
If we are talking about forward planning, the point that you just raised, your point is that if we planned, if we are meticulous, let me use that word, we should never come to any point at which we will say that let us urgently transport condoms to any community in this country, because there should be a plan. By that plan, there should always be condoms freely available, accessible by all in whatever community.
Sixtus,
my point is, looking at how important blood is in our health service delivery system, with the same forward planning, there should never ever be a situation where you say we urgently need blood. But even here in this city, Kolebu, we hear every time. So-so and so.
I want you to finish the point. I want you to finish the point.
Friends are calling. Oh, Charlie, I beg, can you come and donate blood? It's urgent.
I want you to finish the point.
It should never ever happen.
What is the underlying theme upon which Zipline is in this country?
Now you know him.
It's to deliver emergency medical services to hard to reach areas or remote areas. When you use
so your point is that condom is not a medical service, or it's not an emergency medical service.
I don't know where.
Is it a medical service?
In this, I didn't say the classification is emergency.
There are two different things I'm asking.
I said emergency.
Just follow me.
Emergency.
Is it a medical service?
It is a medical service.
But it is not. It shouldn't be classified as an emergency.
It doesn't classify as an emergency service. That's the point I'm making. Because the thing was brought in to deliver emergency service. Have you seen the drone?
I have a beautiful message for you.
Have you seen the drone before?
No, I have never been in need of emergency.
Okay. Should we even look at the definition of what an emergency is?
Okay.
An emergency is a serious, unexpected, and often dangerous situation requiring immediate action. If I give the example that maybe via data it comes to one's attention that this particular community has maybe a lot of children who are born with gonorrhea, who are born with STD-related childbirth complications. And in order to circumvent this very serious and often dangerous situation, as per the definition of an emergency, preventative measures must be implemented as a bear with me. As a matter of urgency. I think that could potentially classify. Even for me, like I said, even going that far, I don't even need it to go that far. I want Zipline to donate condoms everywhere, because the situation on the ground in that instance
I agree
is an
with
emergency.
You on making condoms available in many places as possible.
Yes.
I'm still going with the hypothesis of an area where there's STI and all of that. The drone service could not deliver medicines to treat gonorrhea and chlamydia. It didn't drop.
We don't know that.
No,
maybe.
I'm making the point.
Do you know that?
No,
we don't know that.
No, I'm making the point.
No, he's
but we don't know. Maybe it wasn't just condoms.
He's taking an entrenched position and making a lot based on assumptions he cannot even justify.
The drone service doesn't take the medicine to treat chlamydia to the police, but decides to take condoms.
Do we know that though? We don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but if they want to start off on a tangent where
they want to cut the spread,
so let's go with that. I don't think it's a bad initiative.
Let me read messages for all of us.
Okay,
so this one says that Mawuena's reaction to the lady's question on spotting condoms in the pharmacies is exactly the problem we have: low condom usage. He's even shy to mention that he saw condoms. How much more went to buy it? That's the challenge with our young men now. And this was a message that was sent to my line directly. And under the stream, Kujo Fiagbe is attacking me. He says, condoms with zipline, and a journalist is defending this nonsense. No, it's not a question.
Did you type this?
It's an exclamation. He says, condoms with zipline, and a journalist is defending this nonsense. And he comes back to say, the zipline contract should quickly be terminated as soon as possible. Then he goes on to say, he's the only messenger we have on our stream. He's so fired up by this discussion.
Good morning.
He says, these things are okay. Those things are being transported because this message is not clear. What is the necessity for flying condoms? It's still Kojo Fiabe. Okay, Shelley Appiah-Ampofo says there's something called condom tamponade. Did I get that right? Used as emergency for postpartum bleeding.
Okay, so
Shelley, I really want Shelley should further explain this.
Shelley should come and explain this.
Shelley, please further explain this. You have made a lot of sense.
If that's
this
so,
is the kind of contribution
condom is being used for postpartum.
So it says that there is something called condom tamponade, used as emergency for postpartum bleeding.
Perhaps we have to find
Kojo Fiagbe, this is what we are talking about. The fact that I'm a journalist doesn't mean I say yes to everything I hear. No. I'm just being critical of the statement. I'm saying that we don't have the details. I'm not defending anything. We don't have the details.
In fact, on YouTube, our YouTube community, this conversation has also woken you up. Good morning. Buddy and Preppy, he says, what's up, people? He says, it's an emergency. Okay. Hey, Buddy. Then, somebody has brought Bawumia into this. Let me see how the connection. Bawumia should be called upon.
This is where the problem is. And that's the same tangent Kojo was going.
The politics.
When you begin to draw politics into it.
Kelly, good morning. I don't know how Bawumia got into this, but you come again.
Bawumia is the one who brought it.
Okay, so Bawumia should be called upon to answer. Okay, we'll call him as soon as we finish.
But perhaps Shelley should come in.
So, Shelley, please
come in again and help us
provide detail on this.
If it is the condom we know, that I will strongly agree.
Condom. What is if it is a condom we know?
No, that's one emergency. Even though I'm being told boys will beat me somewhere because I'm advocating against the.
No, you are not advocating against it. I get the point you are making, but like I keep saying, we need to get the details of those transactions. And Shirley, I honestly I didn't know this, the message Shirley has. I didn't know that. That's why I was saying that.
It's a condom something.
That's why I was saying that we need the details to be able to then have a meaningful conversation.
I still stick in my point that if Zipline has not added, if they can add that condom distribution, it should be for the entire country, because the work I did this year, as far as what our numbers look like, in a couple of years, when this thing further explodes, you wish that
yesterday was World AIDS Day. Yeah. We were having this conversation the whole day, and we're talking about rising figures, low patronage and usage of condoms. I do not
disagree.
We're using
I do not disagree.
All I am asking for, what are the details of the transaction? If we see the details, and it is not the thing that Shirley is referring to, or it was no use for the purpose that Shirley, for instance, has mentioned, then we can all say that this is not justifiable. Then we will slam whichever officer signed off on that transaction. Possibly we will ask the officer to refund the 480 Ghana cedis that is firing you people up so much.
480 cedis, the callers are beginning to buzz with the telephone. I'm sure they will have their own thoughts, but like again, I said.
So, Ojebwa, don't repeat your point. It's fine. No. Ojebwa Sistraku Krapa.
Oh, okay. Sorry, 30 euros is 300. The city is. I forgot the city has gained muscle.
But that was then. Back then it was 15 cities or 16 cities.
You are right.
So
just give us.
You are right. But today's rate is 395. City na ya macho.
Ghana, are we really serious as a country? And Paulina Shirley says, I think delivery of condom is not an emergency. I believe it can be sent by the regular means in which all other medical stuff are supplied. When you say all other medical stuff, does that include the blood, Paulina? So I really want Shirley to come back and
Shirley should come back. But what I'll just say in conclusion is that I still stand by the point.
Your point.
Condom is not an emergency service. Let's just go back to what the terms were on this Zipline drone delivery service. I don't think condom falls under the category of emergency service, unless it is the condom for postpartum depression or whatever, which I don't even know what will be used for.
You are changing your mouth.
No.
You are changing your
because there was
your initial, and that was what triggered this. Your initial statement was that it doesn't matter for what, it doesn't matter for how, it doesn't matter for who, for where. Condom cannot, should not, will not, may not, and must not be an emergency service. So don't now begin giving exceptions.
No, I'm saying that there has been an explanation.
Don't change your mouth. Let's stay where we are.
No, and Shirley can send the extra detail. I'm saying that there has been explanation which is coming forth, which is seeking to explain to us. I don't know whether this is a special type of condom.
Must be.
No, she added something to it, so
exactly.
Definitely.
Must be, yeah.
That is why I laid the premise before I started the argument that trusting that everything the minister has said is accurate, because I am even starting from a position where I don't believe everything he has said. But I am
he's an official source, so you ought to believe everything.
No. The reason why Mawuena says
to be credible, unless otherwise proved.
The reason why Mawuena says that is, if you listen to the minister, it almost sounded as though, will I say, he was trivializing these items.
Exactly.
So it's laced with some kind of,
and all of that.
Politics, a little bit. Yes.
No, he was making mockery of the situation.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Like even condoms. You delivered, and it's the same tangent.
And if he comes back one day and policy makers say, listen, the reason why we did this was A, B, and C, he'll have to come back with the sober mind and retract, because as health minister, is he fully furnished with why that decision was made to say it in that way with that head shaking? I don't think that was completely fair.
Again, all your points are very valid.
Indeed.
The only thing I'm saying is that I, Mawuena better seated here, cannot see the basis upon which we will. Have you seen? That's why I asked the question. Have you seen the Zipline drone when it's supposed to go and do something?
Sometimes my advocacy has now been amplified.
It's just a box, right? It's a box which is supposed. That box, to a community, how many strips of condom or packs of condom can be in it such that it will be like I think about it and it doesn't work. I don't see how.
I did a simple Google search.
The basis upon which we are.
Condom tamponade is a low cost, effective, and minimally invasive technique used primarily in obstetric emergencies to control severe bleeding and the added hemorrhage, especially in resource-limited settings. So the remote areas would qualify. Uses of condom tamponade, primary use of a condom balloon tamponade, also known as condom uterine balloon tamponade, or CUBT, is to manage postpartum hemorrhage that does not respond to initial treatments like uterine massage and medication. PPH, often caused by the uterus failing to contract after childbirth, is a major cause of maternal mortality worldwide.
Right.
So you see how serious the thing is getting. Okay.
Proceed.
The device works by applying direct internal pressure to the bleeding sites, which promotes clot formation and helps the uterus contract. It can control bleeding quickly, often within minutes. And they go on to give the key uses and the advantages.
Is there a picture shared as to?
Yes, there are pictures of it shared. I'm not sure.
I want to see.
Do you know what is quite interesting? I've also just cited here. Did you know that WHO, UNFPA, and other health NGOs classify condoms as something called minimal initial service package (MISP) items? They include it in emergency packs whenever there's an emergency, some type of outbreak, because condoms prevent rapid spread of HIV. Blah blah blah.
I'm sorry.
It always features.
Ajele, you should show these pictures.
Okay, so show
the pictures.
Show the pictures.
Let's see.
Have you shared it with her? Because we have to. The callers keep coming through.
Even WHO added to their emergency relief packs.
So let's not rush to condemn.
Oh no, share the picture with us.
Let's get the details.
Yeah.
Then, based on the details that we would have, we can then decide that this was.
It is an emergency service.
This was.
But I want to see it on your phone, or maybe.
No, I want to share it for the benefit of the listeners.
Hey.
Let me. Why does it look scary?
No,
connected to a USB.
So they have to connect it to a tube.
Right. Okay.
Maybe.
No, she'll share it. She'll share it for. So go on to our Facebook handle. They'll share that image.
And those watching on YouTube as well, they'll
share that image for us shortly, and then we will get details of that as well. And so that will classify whether or not it falls under an emergency delivery service. But a
lot of messages still coming through
on the subject matter.
Yes,
I want our health experts to
weigh in.
Yeah.
Sandy Love says it's not an emergency. Urgently transporting it does not guarantee usage. Very important point as well.
So
it goes hand in hand with public education as well. That I agree. Right. However, transporting blood is. Let me just land. I beg you.
No, I actually want to just draw listeners' attention to the fact that
only 2 seconds. However, transporting blood and syringe is an emergency. Yes, all right, the picture is up now.
I agree. Blood and syringe is an emergency because sometimes it might not be. Even that you can argue not blood but syringes, but. That's what it looks like, and it's used to stop hemorrhage or bleeding, and preventing. Right.
So this is how it is used.
So this is how it is used.
Yes.
During emergency services to prevent.
So please go to our stream, YouTube and Facebook. You would see the pictures and the usage.
Yeah. So that's it. On the screen for the purposes of those who this is what it looks like, and it is used in remote areas and the likes to take care of pregnant women particularly, right? Sixtus, you did the reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is.
So a woman after giving birth is bleeding uncontrollably in an area where the necessary equipment are not there to control the bleeding. The science says that they can use this. Yeah. And thanks to Shelley for pointing us in that direction. Yes, so let's just get the details of that transaction. Then
we'll get the
resolve
details.
All of this. So you see, it comes with what's that tube?
So I think this is a tube. So they improvise to use this to have it stop the bleeding. But our medical experts, I mean. Call us 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, as well as 055-691-0154. After this, I'm sure we'll return to have a bit more in terms of the conversations, but the phone lines are buzzing, so let me get to it first. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawuena. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well. Give us your name and where you're talking to us from, please.
My name is Jones Adobo, calling from La.
James, let's hear you quickly. Jones.
Yes, calling from La. Yes, good morning to you guys. And I still want to appeal to the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Ullo, that even Sunday I passed through the agriculture market there, and what is going on there is an eyesore. The onion market has been taken over, which was paid by our taxpayers' money, has been taken over once again by the scrap dealers. We need to move in quickly and take the place back before people are building containers as I'm talking to you this morning. So we need to move in there quickly. Thank you so much. And also, concerning the zip line issue, Mawuena, I 100% agree with you. We can't be using our taxpayers' money for anything in the name of God. But we have got Jack, where are you? Where is that?
Let's stay on the issue and let's not go and be asking questions.
The zip line issue. Why are you removing condoms, uniforms, and is that what the this thing is meant for? Is that what it's meant for? How much? I mean, this is the great and loose this thing that we talked about.
Thank you very much, Jones. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mawuena.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
This is Ajanawan from Kwabenya.
Ajanawan, let's hear you quickly as well this morning.
Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful job you are doing for Mother Ghana. Like I said earlier, the listening ones will be maintained. If you don't listen to Ghanaians, you will be reshuffled. You can see some of them are doing well. So let's go to my point. You see, we all know that HIV have lived with us for over 80 years, 70 years. I don't think we have to suffer or now explaining how we have to be in good terms.
We lost Ajana one on the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Egbeta.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well. Yes, I am too.
Okay, Professor,
let's hear you. Let's hear you as well this morning. Thank you very much for calling.
The health minister is not all that daft because initially he has engaged a zip line 3 times and signed all by them press conference. Meaning that when you want to answer that what they are doing, another the items are or more supply, you need value for money. And if different from the condoms now, used for air post within partum now. I cannot have I can't or Becca because he's the only minister by the health minister has been fighting him. From the midwifery, from the nurses, this year no more fighting in now. I cannot have proven to them that he's on top of the job or and to say a different condoms and kind. A ordinary condoms and the police are here the bar. A journey on mine.
Well, Professor, to be fair, what the medical, what the health practitioner drew our attention to are just the ordinary condoms we use, which is being improvised to help stop bleeding amongst pregnant women in hinterlands and remote areas, and so that's just the point I want to add. In all of that. But I appreciate you calling as well, and I'll get somebody else as well on the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please. I trust that you're well.
Please, I'm Frank Nalu, Domi Mayo.
Frank, let's hear from you quickly.
Yo, opening. And a pay the Yamiasum drink.
Yo, medasi. I'm for Kwenya dia mamisu. The way I 3FM there. A man for Oba Greater Kra, money show be anywhere time programming. Ubia 3FM. The bomber basso. Na me chia me boss. CEO, our that forestry commissioner, Mr. Brown. Opening. Be chia papa na no pa na me bona basso papa. Eh ahunhoa. So man pani ti me bo papa we DC. Ono na me Ghana ya forest so. Minia. And as illegal timber operators ne nua no mu share forest yitwa omo ne nam ye kwaye mu ebunua no ene ne nyina brafe minua ba ko ye village wo kwa ojeti na me se me penua bi dia ya de me friend was hey se de si wo foforo na ya boni di nti udimi kotwa dua wo amma se say forest na aye tight amanne that you know see o future ki Mr. Brown uti wa no po me bona baspa minua health minister. Yes, Papa so Pahoma so nya nanu mode wo na emum ni yie munti Papa we yen hwe odo ene tema a wo ma Ghana evia sintedipa ubedi ye obetimi atra enambambo ehun ene minia o health ehia pa enti no mompani akoyi honorable Mr. Kando because Papa we ka health o mu experience enti onjibe nya de boni bia emfa ma Ghana for ta condom semia health practitioners never can binia e binum ho mo ye politics obi o ha na dwumo ye nyina o mampani be ko ye ma no be sign politics adokoro ye ntino o be se na be kan ye ma enim afa health minister ho na Ghana for ni fa do na be 90% ye ni health minister de onu dwuma pa na odidi ma Ghana health ye toso mienu ye ma na ekotro exams na o ma fail portal minia enye Papa Mahama time and on the school. The next for the side of tag, red, gold, green, I can. Well, a man, young mind the classes. No moment to be top at the moment. I don't know if you say no.
Frank, relax for me, I beg you. But thank you very much for calling us. Well, that's Frank, the Domi Mayor, calling us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawuena.
Eben is doing well. It's good to hear from you again. I trust that you are well too.
Yes. Regards to Yellen and the other colleagues there. Let me say good morning to my MP, Honorable Prima Klugu and Honorable Agbo of Guys. Also, Courage Makafui, the next TDC boss and Deputy Chief Executive, Honorable Kwesi Peter of the Shipyard. Let me applaud, the minister, Honorable Akando, the way he's carrying Ghanaians along. And for me, I will plead with him that if he thinks this zip line, the drone they are flying, is costing the nation just for nothing, he should just review the contract. Because we were told that this zip line drone was brought for emergency. Is that not it, Mawuena? So if you'll be hearing that now they supply condoms and other things which are unnecessary, and we are paying huge sums of dollars, I think the contract needs to be cancelled or reviewed for the betterment of the nation. Because it seems to me that the elsewhere administration, most of the contract they awarded for their own good and not for the good of the nation. Okay? We voted for them to come and, better our lives. But when they came for the past 80, what did we see, Mawuena? So, Mr. Minister, we thank you, we appreciate your effort. Because the way each and every time you carry Ghanaians along, we are so happy. It means that you are ready for the job. People chastise you that you are a farmer, you can't do. But look at the way you are carrying us along. We are so much happy. If you think the zip plan is good for, it's not going to benefit us, just go ahead, review the contract for the benefit of the nation.
Thank you very much, Eben, as well, for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Mawuena.
Yes, sir.
This is Bright calling from Abosoka.
Brighton Abosoka, it's good to hear from you again. Talk to us.
Thank you. Let me say good morning to Honorable Alaji Yaokondo in charge of operations, and Honorable Pitachi, and Honorable Alaji Raouf, and Honorable Courage Makafui Nunekwefu, our TDC. Eveda Health Minister Sipapa, Honorable Mr. Kando, Onimejuma Oye. Zip line, you see, Eddie Moja Echo, a supply Moja, and then it say condoms and a teacher. And the best health minister, no. So, zip line, Mboa or Mano, na a de carbon, a bro, mana, young Fasobia and free zip line is what. All classes are contract, no more fine baby papa. First, no, every clinic, and I say, hospital be a crana. Ye mau condom. And she didn't in a drone, sir. Yes, she Eddie Moja Airco, baby, Airco Surprise Moja. Now, she see I did this with condoms near there. I am found for so be I am bro, mine. Share your best to say, special prosecutor, any easy mamma. SRC John Dramani Mama, and she now say, be his office, no, Eddie Fluo, a special prosecutor office now, because taxpayers' money, and a say, okay.
Thank you.
Because since I appoint this office, no. Ye who say papa we di nipa ba akupo akokota amaneti me di nkunim amane etime di bibi papa bi abra man de bida enti ye close our office no any yisi mami jemensa ye who office na owo no usha ye politics enti na ye de ne courtroom honom enti ye mpam no enfefro na ye mpa ni papa obetimi aye adwuma wo honom na wabo o man na konkai.
Thank you very much for calling us. Well, hello, good morning.
Eric.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Collins. Calling from Molly.
Collins, it's good to hear from you. Talk to us this morning.
Fantastic. Let me greet your chairs, listeners, and Mr. Akwesi Mensah and DCOP Agojo. I heard today, it says one of the graphics, about 12,000 or so. That's 2024. Last year died about HIV virus. My worry is, look, we don't want wearing a condom, so we should pretend as if we do. Eric, let's be specific. It's only those who do this nice job, these prostitutes as well, so forth. They use it about 75%. It's clear. We don't use it. And we are spreading this cancer across everywhere. How can we solve it? How can we solve it? Me, my worry is if somebody have it and he just spread it anytime, any day, anywhere he likes. Either he is a man or woman. We don't know. So he just go in there to buy, if the medicine is free, he go there to collect it. Then you drink or use whatever. Me, I'm just saying it as it is. And it's true. After then you go out to spread it. And they yes, we are spreading. You see money that it can do some good thing for this country. We are using it for nothing.
Thank you. Thank you for calling us. Well, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mawuena.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
By the grace of God, I'm well, and you?
I'm also doing well.
Let's give thanks to the Almighty God for giving us this day. My name is Nana Amofo, calling from Esboy in the Eastern region.
Nana Amofo, it's good to have you call us this morning. Talk to us.
Mr. Mawuena, first of all, let me give my incoming national chairman, Yura Honorable Boachi Ejako, and Yura Kennedy Akompeko Ejako, incoming Black Bella School for MPP. Mr. Mawuena, zip line. I want some Appiah, you can want to say, almost apply condoms. Now, and found for so like on my gun, and I said, and found for the American, I a bocano. Name it to me, say, our administration here by why you want to say the past government, they will give a bad name for them to hang it or to discontinue the contract. The woman say, let your man, yet be beer, a man of summer, a man in and a brew. Mr. Mawuena, since the plane by you see almost supply and grow at the man, your hospital. Mr. Woman say, that first, I will for a man, not echo a war so echo, nay, I see the dinty, Omu Brady, Omu Yamudano, so a brass. Na first no ko afuma ya se o waka obi yenya adro emfa woni fa mani information no kwa se oni mani na e ba fam Mr. Akando again to chiwu pa no the man as health minister antia o the science we ebe to abontin to give a dog a bad name and hang it no me woni se emfa so embre o man no e yo man na eboka yenge ye man no kane and say the bibia aye amanosem na ya na eye me won say your doctors, our doctors, our MPP, may a pretty health minister, or be on your doctor,
on him health washing, yes, I'm health minister. And I know me was up so because you had your doctors at Kukudam, all your medical doctors, our NDC, Sadia will be so our MPP. Now you have the health minister. You go for Bia on him health washing, on your doctor, on your pharmacist, on your lab technician, yes, I'm health minister. I did the amount for
well, to be fair, Nana, it's not always the case that an expert in the field is the one handling the keys. Even though it is important, but it's not always the case. I'm just trying to make that point.
I'm now calling a conversation. Oh, see you on. Obi send message give me my for condom. Mama go. I'm going to say asana adaka kano. Nipa kano oka inyasem. Ama umya calling every day. It's a column no asem no message your Bible. Okogogo nya mechi bi e wo homework no kenkan wo. Meboa. E bi say enyo no be kala sa mo zanka nipa kwan sam be dwum o mama mu nchichimu mo. Then pass our condom no. You see, you'll be doing what in the health me, you say, this I found a condom. And they say, one in him, dear one, but Davio, I young of your own name, and Francis said, no, Kodano, you only moon, the rock on for only moon, get me, Biao, and said, Makurano. Yet your members of the Casa, I don't know Manakonim, with Amona, a better no Manakoin, and passing, and feeling Jeffers one by Davio, they can make us and say, Massa, I will for your was out there was a woo bar.
Thank you very much, Sanamo Akwa, as well. Let me pick my final caller for the morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
Yes, talk to us.
My dear, this is Haja Halima.
Haja Halima, it's good to have you call us this morning. I trust that you are well.
Thank you, I'm fine. How is Johnny, Bella, everybody, your ladies over there, everybody? How is everybody?
They are all doing well. They are all doing very, very well.
We thank God for our lives. And we thank God for letting us see the beginning of December, and may He let us see the end of December.
Amen.
My brother, I'll go local today because of what my brother just poured. Minyanom, my main country, as soon as dream and as soon as answer. And untino, step your tafrache. And untina Ghana, and I say, you have to find a baby, or being co school, say, obey a president, and son, I am the president. And until they tell me to a back. Eman kofo a omudi omai ko nichi sentra me pese me nianu hu se stabi ota prache eduane noa ebinom ko school ko sua obi so tifi oni me eduane noa pa yede ye president ye health ministry and share obi nsa e wo man mu no okopos kunutuni video set kunutuni o e di play wo man mu na apo so onima onko bisa Netosu mienu, eduma papa ben pana, MPP abaya ya ene, endi saba efenu. Onga no be kan biom, no ntire. Eduma papa ne bi ni se, no moto afọ, edi ma nkola, edi tro ezam sa ene, yanto afọ ma ma tell photo say na. Ana we dim say ye inheritance ya inherit from mo. Ene HIV akosoro no. Yen bi sa mo. Ya mo muti abamu no, omo ye omo HIV sen, ene akosoro sa. National security coordinator, no, pajamas, friends say, what do you call it? Function designer.
Haji, slow down for me.
I'm slowing down. What you say? Entimedia, yeah, carry on my asema. MPP for money, my lady, money say, yeah, two about we are to say, or my no man, Yamanosem. Amanosem, and 1 year, and Nunti, nice, I said, on the money, Mahama, schools. Day schools, community day schools, blocks, mobile, na gurem, one metwaso. And now I will say, a too much dear by the Ganaya, a papa na, when you know.
Thank you very much, Haja. Haja, thank you. Your final caller for the morning. Mutala is here to bring us the very latest from the world of sport. Mutala, I trust that you're well.
By His grace, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Yesterday was a game live on TV.
Yeah, it was a final Premier League game for match day 12. 11 Wonders were in action. So they won against Dreams FC for the first time this season in the Ghana Premier League. And guess what? We've played just 12 matches in the league. They've used 3 different managers.
Dreams,
11 Wonders. They started with Neo Dati Lamte, the former Black Stars skipper and forward. Then they parted ways with him and went for a more experienced manager, Coach J. Sapon, the one who discovered Asamoah Gyan at Accra. He lasted for just 20 days. and left. And now they've brought in Emmanuel Edu. All these managers never won games for them. So Emmanuel Edu is the first manager to win a game for 11 Wonders, and it was yesterday. But tonight, the Black Queens will be in action against the three Lionesses of England. So if you say a prayer, I beg.
They're inarguably one of the best teams in the world.
They recently won 8-0 against China.
It could be a mauling if we're not careful.
Well,
we saw the Black Stars hold their own against the Lions. We pray for the Queens as well to do that. Mutala is here who do sports for us now.
.7 3 FM. 92.7 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 3 FM. 92.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday.
Sports here on 3FM's Sunrise. My name is Mutale Akubu. Coming up this morning, 11 Wonders win a game in the Ghana Premier League for the first time, and the Black Queens will be in action tonight as they come up against the three Lionesses of England as well. And the World Cup draw is beckoning. It will be held on Friday, the 5th of December, and all countries who are participating in this year's World Cup, or next year's World Cup, will get to know their opponents. A lot more here on Sunrise. Now settle for the details and start off with the Ghana Premier League, because 11 Wonders pick up their first win of the season, battling to a 2-0 win over Dreams FC on Monday. The result means 11 Wonders are still bottom of the pile after match day 12, whereas Aduana FC lead the way at the summit of the league. Here's a report we put together. To a closure here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, and the big news is that, surprise, surprise, 11 Wonders have finally won a game in this year's league, and it came in match day 12 with Emmanuel Edu guided them to beat Dreams FC by 2-0. That is a massive win for them, and their players are in ecstasy. For Heartland, they also ended their run of not winning games. So 3 games they had drawn all, and this time they also managed to win their game against Vision FC by a 0-0. Mawuena scoring the only goal for the Phobians to lift them into the top half of the table. For Asante Kotoko, they were back to the Appiah-Ampofo Sports Stadium and were hopeful of getting a win against one of the strongest sides currently in the league, that is Mediama. But surprisingly, Mediama took a 2-0 lead, and Kotoko had to fight back with Peter Aqua Amidu and also Samba O'Neill scoring for them to tie the game at 2-2. It felt like a defeat for Mediama because their head coach, Ibrahim Tango, thinks they should have won that one. For Karim Zito and Asante Kotoko, they would take a point because they had to fight very hard. We also saw the likes of Hoho United go all the way to the Nana Fosuji Abo Park to beat Bechem by 2-1, and that will be a lot of confidence, a booster for them, because their next game will be against the likes of Asante Kotoko. Heartland will travel all the way to Karela. We also saw the likes of Swedru All Blacks all drawn their game, and the biggest result on the match day, that is match day 12, has to be Bibiani Gold Stars getting a 1-0 victory over Adriana, who are league leaders. Came as Atakumi scored the only goal for the Miners, as they are still in the running for the title. But Adriana are still on top of the Ghana Premier League table with the likes of Heart of Lions, Asante Kotoko, all in the mix. The race has just started and it promises to be interesting. Mutala Yakubu for 3 Sports at the University of Ghana Stadium. So that is what happened in the Ghana Premier League there. Match day 12 done and dusted, and we move on to match day 13, which the fixtures would come later. But away from the Ghana Premier League, let's turn our attention to the camp of the Black Queens, who will be in action later tonight. The team will face England in a high-profile friendly at 7 p.m. at the St. Mary's Stadium in Southampton. Now, despite England having a spring in their step after beating China 8-0 in the lead-up to the game against Ghana, Black Queens head coach Kim Lasbiokegren says his side will put up a spirited performance against the European champions regardless of the game's outcome.
In the game, you're going to see a hardworking team that will be hopefully proud over the performance. If it gives us a good result or not, we will see, but we're going to do everything we can. And if you do that and you are a little bit brave outside there, I think that everybody got to see this game that we did something really good. I actually spoke to the girl when we watched the China game, and they had one left winger. They came in the second half. I know her a little bit since my time in China, and I said to some of them, you're going to see a girl that she's the shortest player I ever coached, but she's brave. She wants to dribble, she wants to create, she wants to change the game. And I actually think that she did. Okay, she was not afraid to keep the ball. She was not afraid to do her own things, and she actually helped the team. And I think that kind of things can actually help our players, that we can respect the opponent, but in the same times we need to be ourselves. We are the Black Queens, and we need to do our things. And if we do that, I think that people will see our performance and our game in a positive way.
Kim Lasbiokegren is the head coach of the Black Queens, and they will be playing tonight at 7 p.m. Big game against England. Now, meanwhile, the 2026 World Cup draw is a little over 72 hours away. The Black Stars, who are in Port 4, will learn their fate when the draw officially takes place on Friday. That is in Washington, D.C. in the United States. 48 teams will be split in 12 groups as 4 at the quest to dethrone Argentina as the new champions of the world begins. My colleague Bill Shen provides a detailed breakdown of what to expect on Friday.
Tournament would span 39 days from June to July 2026. It would involve 48 teams divided into 12 groups, 4 teams each. Now, the top 2 in each of the 12 groups would qualify automatically to the round of 32, with 8 third best placed teams to join them in that particular round. Now, we'd have 6 extra knockout matches due to the fact that there's a round of 32 in there. And also the total matches in the 2026 World Cup have now increased to 104 from the previous 64. And also, so far, we have 4 debutants who have qualified to the tournament, including Cape Verde and Uzbekistan. But it could potentially increase after the playoffs takes place in March.
So the World Cup draw comes off on the 5th of December, and all updates will be on all our socials at 3 Sports GH and also on TV3. Let's do some AFCON related stories, because South Africa head coach Hugo Broos has named his final 25-man squad for the 2025 AFCON. The 1996 AFCON champions are seeking a second continental title and have named 18 local players as part of their team as they look to end their 29-year-old AFCON drought. Also, Cameroon have dropped a veteran Vincent Abubakar and Manchester United shortstopper Andre Onana from their final 25 AFCON squad as they also part ways with their head coach Mark Bryce there. The 5-time AFCON champions have opted for a blend of youth and experience, with Manchester United's Brian Mbeumo and Brighton's Carlos Baleba leading the charge. Onana's omission comes after the goalkeeper started all 15 of Cameroon's last competitive games, keeping 9 clean sheets in the process, while Abubakar was part of the indomitable Lions AFCON side that won in 2017. Further shakeups are expected to take place as Fecafoot President Samuel Eto'o continues a campaign to restore and restructure Cameroonian football. Let's head to Europe now, because Pep Guardiola has been speaking, and they will be coming up today against Fulham in a game that is expected to be a cagey one. And Pep and Marco Silva, the head coach of Fulham, have all spoken ahead of the game.
Marco is many years there. and always have been really, really tough games. Difficult. The organization is exceptional, and every year I have the feeling that with the ball they are better and even better. So tough opponent. I saw the games these days, yesterday and today, against Chelsea, against Arsenal, last games against Sunderland, and always it's so difficult for the opponents break up them, and yeah, I always have been in this beautiful stadium in London.
That is Pep Guardiola there, the head coach of Manchester City, and they're looking forward to that game today. Now, also a Liverpool boss and the slot says Mohamed Salah is a key part of his plans, despite the Dutch manager leaving him out in their 2-0 win over West Ham United last Sunday. Liverpool bounced back to winning ways on Sunday with goals from Alexander Isak and Cody Gakpo, securing a first win in their last 4 games for defending Premier League champions. Salah, who was the Premier League top scorer last season, has struggled for form this term, scoring just 4 times and providing 2 assists in 12 games.
It's every time when we play a game, when I don't play Florian Wirtz, when I don't play Alexander Isak, when I don't play Koitike, when I don't play Mo Salah, it's about that, which is normal because they're all outstanding players, and Mo has had an unbelievable career here at this club and will have a very good future at this club. Because he's such a special player. 4 games in 10 days with only 14 to 15 outfield players available for us. Then you have to decide once in a while to make a certain lineup, and you try to pick the best lineup for every single game. But like I said, he's been so important for this club and will be important for this club in the future.
Arne Slot is the manager of Liverpool. Before we go, unified heavyweight champion, that is Alexander Usyk, has named Deontay Wilder as the first option for his next boxing bout. The Ukrainian stopped Leander Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium in July to become a 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion. Usyk then vacated his WBA belt with British Fabio Wally, upgraded from interim to full champion. Wilder, a former WBC world champion and once the division's most feared puncher, has struggled since his trilogy with Tyson Fury. The American's stock plummeted after back-to-back stoppage defeats by Joseph Parker in 2023 and Zhilei Zhang in 2024. Now, after more than a year out, Wilder returned in June with a low-key 7th round stoppage of a little-known Tyrell Anderson, and we'll be looking at getting the better of Alexander Usyk. And that brings us to the end of the sports update here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. There's more after this.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time.
There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback. It's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. Mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. They calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Coming to the mountains, sight and I grandpa.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names.
Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, let go.
We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio. The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure. Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up! Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure. Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up! Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption.
The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure. Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up! Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption.
The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure. Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up! Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption.
The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio. The Electoral Commission has
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #Familat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at...
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing...
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #Familat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #Familat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
To the all-white party happening on the 28th of December 2025. Of course, we're going to be at the Labadi Beach Hotel. DJ Abiyam, only the finest for you. Of course, he's going to be there at the helm of music affairs. Make sure that you are not missing it for anything in the world. It's 3 tables, 3 levels, 3 moods, but it's only one unforgettable night. But of course, we have to get into our big conversation this morning and get into the meat of the matter. A lot for you and I to certainly sink our teeth into this morning.
The big conversation.
Now, before we went on that break, I told you about some 10 separate petitions that have been submitted to the president, 7 calling for the removal of the Electoral Commission chair and her 2 deputies, and 3 targeting the special prosecutor. Now, again, in accordance with the Constitution, President Mahama has now forwarded all of these petitions to the Chief Justice for preliminary determination. This morning we'll be seeking to unpack these themes, but also get into a bit of another conversation, shall I say, concerning this seeming growing pattern that many Ghanaians believe or are beginning to notice, a pattern where each new administration is confronted with or inherits processes leading to the removal of key institutional heads. We've already seen the recent removal of Chief Justice Tokonu, and now the leadership of 2 critical democratic institutions, that's the EC and the OSP, face similar processes. I want you to ruminate on this. The question on the minds of many is simple but powerful. Is this accountability at work, or are we normalizing a cycle of institutional instability and political reset with every change of government? And we'll have some key stakeholders in this discussion to flesh out these themes. Mawuena Egbeta still in the studio with us, and let's get into some foundational matters as far as the Office of the Special Prosecutor is concerned.
Absolutely. And so we know that there are grounds upon which the special prosecutor can be removed. His position is likened to a justice of the Superior Court. I think the appeals court, to be very specific. And so when it comes to matters for his removal or for the removal of the individual who occupies a position as special prosecutor, that is covered under the Article 146 process as well, in terms of how they can be removed. And so, but we also know that the special prosecutor's removal process is also captured in this in the act which created, or the enactment which created the office as well. And so the removal process is what we're seeking to walk listeners through right now. And the special prosecutor shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence, incapacity to perform the functions of the office by reason of infirmity of body or mind, willful violation of the official oath or oath of secrecy, also conduct which brings or is likely to bring the office or the special prosecutor into disrepute or contempt, or is prejudicial or inimical to the economy or security of the state. These are the basis, and we also know that a person who seeks to, so these are the basis upon which you can remove.
That's right.
Now, if you want to remove, here's what it is that you must do. You must first submit a petition to the president. Now, when the president receives a petition for the removal of the special prosecutor, the president shall within 7 days refer the petition to the Chief Justice, who shall within 30 days determine whether there is a prima facie case for them to answer. Now, where the Chief Justice determines that there is indeed a prima facie case to answer, the Chief Justice shall within 14 days set up a committee consisting of a chairperson who is a justice of the Supreme Court, a lawyer of at least 15 years standing at the bar, and one other person with expertise in investigations. The committee shall within 90 days investigate the matter and make its recommendation to the president through the Chief Justice. The president shall act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. So that's in respect to the special prosecutor, whose position is likened to a court of appeal judge, right? These are the processes, and if it were to happen, how it will go about. We know yesterday there was confirmation from the presidency that indeed the president had received the petition, but unlike the Chief Justice, the OSP, EC, and all other justices of the High Court or of the Superior Courts, High Courts, Court of Appeal, we don't have regional tribunals, and then Supreme Court. All of them, once a petition comes, the president is just a conveyor belt. You give him the petition, the Constitution says within 7 days, give it to the Chief Justice. I think it is only the Chief Justice who cannot answer to herself. It's where the president must make that determination, as we saw in Gertrude Raba Sakitokonu's case.
Right.
And so this one, the president being the conveyor belt, he's taking it to the Chief Justice, Paul Bafuboni, and then from there, he will determine whether or not the office of the special prosecutor has a case to answer. If he does, a committee will be formed, and within 90 days, they must recommend something for the president to take action on.
Certainly. Now, the OSP makes a case, if you follow the office of the special prosecutor across any of the socials on Facebook or in particular on X, as to why they should remain in office, and puts 2025 in focus, citing certain achievements and some monies that have been saved through the OSP's interventions. Now, even that conversation has been the subject of some controversy, with key investigative journalists like Manasseh Awuni-Azuri contesting that, in fact, there have been some revisions on the part of the OSP as far as these figures are concerned, these estimates are concerned, leading even more people to jump on the bandwagon that maybe this is an office that needs even more laser focus on what exactly these achievements have been. But we juxtapose this next portion against the petitions that have been put forth for the removal of the OSP. And Mawuena, what is the OSP telling Ghanaians that they've done? I saw one video with a very energetic eagle flying over the capital and beyond, letting us know that they are watching us like with the hawk's eye, eagle eye, watching everything we do.
Laser sharp, huh?
Laser sharp. When we translate that into money or into intervention, what are they telling us that really they're providing us?
Well, they are seeking to make the case and make it very strongly. And I think we on this show have been having conversations about the Office of the Special Prosecutor for over a month now. And without a shadow of doubt, there is considerable pressure on the office.
Would you say that it has now reached a final crescendo? The murmurings were there, the conversations were there, but now we would say it has reached fever pitch.
Now we've seen
the petition is in motion.
Petitions have come. Martin Kwebu says he's yet to submit his. Petitions have come. And public sentiment generally. So today when we opened the phone, we weren't talking OSP, but someone still mentioned OSP.
That's right. The pressure is on.
You understand? And so public sentiment is not readily in the favor of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. They are under pressure to deliver. And so they come out from time to time seeking to explain that, look, we're doing a lot. Not everything is in the fore, which you must see. A lot of what we've done is preventive. It doesn't allow for the corruption to go on. And so don't just look at people stealing and then we catch them and jail them, that you use it as a measure or a yardstick to determine whether or not we're doing a good job. We're doing other things behind the scene, and that is also equally important.
The OSP says they've reached some 9.4 million people through prevention-focused work, including youth against corruption. Okay, that's an intervention by the OSP.
Yes, so it's to get young people to understand the dangers of corruption and speak against it, fight it. They're seeking to grab them young. And
catch them young.
Yeah, catch them young. Oh, no, grab. Grab becomes a bit too offensive. Catch them young and educates them, inculcates in them the tenets of abhorrence to corruption. And then they can grow on from there and rub it off their colleagues. And so that's one initiative that they are doing, and they've got a number of individuals to be participatory in terms of what it is that they are doing.
One thing that I can definitely see, let's go back to that slide very quickly. They say a strong social media presence, educating people on integrity and corruption risks. I can attest to some of these posts. Man, I know you've seen some of these posts throughout the period with the Office of the Special Prosecutor, not just videos, but some more information about, what it is that they're doing and why it's important that you and I don't engage in corruption. In fact, there's an impact example, they say, from Tema International School Testimonial. Students report a deeper understanding of how small acts of dishonesty grow into wider corruption, inspiring a stronger commitment to integrity. Keep that word integrity in mind, because even on that score, the OSP versus, I shouldn't say versus, but it has become like that, Manasseh Awuni, and he talks about whether or not the Office of the Special Prosecutor itself is lacking in some type of integrity because of some information they have furnished us with, especially with the Ken Ofori-Atta case, which has become an albatross around the neck of the OSP. Ghanaians say, if you don't bring Ken Ofori-Atta back, we don't care whether you engage 200 youth in Tamale. We don't care whether 350 young leaders in Koforidua were cautioned. We don't want to know about any 10 in-person sessions in Accra, Tamale, and Koforidua. We want Ken Ofori-Atta back. We'll talk about that as we progress. All right. Now, we talk about direct recoveries. Mawuena, what is the OSP saying? They've said, I'm seeing some big figures.
So they've recovered in excess of 6.5 million. And $2 million US, 6.5 million in terms of cedis, and $2 million in recoveries, right? So source of recoveries: 106,000 from payroll audit restitution, 206,000 from plea bargains, 6.19 million from petroleum product diversion investigations, and $2 million recovered from MIF, from the gold trading program.
All right. So that's some money that has gone back into Ghana's coffers. According to the OSP, we obviously have to interrogate these figures further. Even these figures have been a source of contention, whether or not we're actually getting those monies. I think there's some more monies.
So asset seizures, 102 million. 102.7 million cedis worth of assets pending confiscation proceedings. Many more assets seized are yet to be valued by SCC, from luxury cars to houses to bullion vans.
Okay, OSP says they've been seizing some assets. And then you talk about some more national and regional engagement, all right? Some over 400 professionals engaged, communication and media outreach. So every time you tune in, for example, to listen to Sami Dako on a new day, on Key Points, on 3FM, they are reaching you, and that's part of their outreach figures. 3.9 million via social media, 5.5 million people reach via TV and radio. I'll be interested to know how they got those official figures, but they say they are reaching us en masse. Also, cooperation, domestic and international. And the OSP says they deepened partnerships with the Ghana Police Service,
GRA,
Ghana Revenue Authority, NIB, Immigration Service, foreign investigative bodies. You know what is missing from this list?
Give it.
The Attorney General's office. That has become allegedly another source of contention for the OSP, whether or not there's a harmonious collaboration.
Very important thing you identify in this particular slide, because the AG is not mentioned at all here.
Is there a reason? Is there something that we don't know?
Well, it says they work together. They'll find a way to work in the best interest of the country, and so we wait to see.
Absolutely. Ghana averted projected losses. So even monies that we were in, the OSP has used their third eye, monies that could have potentially been lost to the tune of 5.73 billion Ghana cedis. The OSP says that they have averted that financial crisis for us. Okay.
So a bit more in terms of the money. I think we've gone through this one already.
Yes.
A bit more in terms of the money as well. 7 convictions secured, 33 persons currently standing trial, 1 case on appeal, vote by it. New prosecutions initiated in 2025, bringing total active cases to 8. That's what the OSP has been saying.
Now, on the face of it, this is one of the big reasons why many Ghanaians are unhappy with the OSP. They say, as far as prosecutions are concerned, this is certainly not something to really...
Far too low after 8 years.
Well, they say they really found their legs in 2022, because at the time that they were set up, at least, let's put Kissie Jammeh...
The office wasn't really set up.
Yes, wasn't really set up. So maybe we can analyze it from a different time frame. But that's the figures there as far as prosecutions are concerned. What do you make of that? Also engage with us. Investigations. What do the investigations look like? 71 cases at full investigative stage. 40 new cases opened in 2025 alone. That's a 148% year-on-year increase. And then also cases cover multiple sectors. All right, let's head over to the phone lines and speak now with Theophilus Jimega Jr., engineer and private legal practitioner. And he's had some preliminary conversations with us as far as this OSP matter is concerned. We continue to flesh out the conversation with him this morning. Theophilus, hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so this morning we're talking about the petitions that were forwarded to the president, which we now know have reached the doorstep of the CJ. These are petitions asking for the removal of the OSP. We've also sought to juxtapose this against what the OSP is touting as its achievement in the year 2025. They talk about prosecutions, they talk about investigations, they talk about monies that have been retrieved. In fact, even forecasting into the future, money that they have prevented the Republic from losing. Before we even get into the conversation regarding these petitions, have you cited these achievements put forth by the OSP? What do you make of it?
I heard about the achievements largely from your network. the petitions, as we will come to understand, might not be about his achievements, but might be about what he has not done or has done poorly. So much as you can tout all your achievements, if there are things that you have done which, in the view of the petitioner and the board, the committee will agree has been done incompetently, your achievements will come in a pale shadow of it. So, and why is the office now coming up telling us all these achievements? Why were these achievements not common knowledge in the past? It is because the picture or the optics among Ghanaians with the OSP is not a pleasant one. Persons have high hopes about the OSP, that office. I don't mean the person, that office, and I don't think persons are saying things that are being done properly or that they can put their fingers on to say this is an achievement coming from the OSP. The office has been set up at least throughout the tenure of Nanado, so we might give them 6 years, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a year at least 7 years. And they have spent so much on them, and what have they brought back? That is what people are asking about. And people are particularly upset by the fact that the biggest fish, which they should have caught, in the person of Ken Oforiatta, was allowed to go. So I don't think that the achievements will be something that persons will play into to say, this is the reason we are petitioning for his removal. However, they will be petitioning for his removal based on his failures.
Right. Now, we talk about the office of the special prosecutor as an entity on its own, and then also the special prosecutor, Kessie Jabing, also as an individual on its own. Do you think that in this conversation we're having, we've been able to sufficiently divorce the two entities, or has it all become muddled because of the personality of the special prosecutor? So many different inferences being drawn towards maybe a possible relationship between Kessie Jabing and the previous administration, even a relationship between himself and former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta. Are people asking for the scrapping of the office or the mere removal of the special prosecutor?
You see, when the office was first created, you remember that popular saying that my enemy's enemy is my friend. So the then president thought that Martin Amidu was an enemy to the NDC, or became an enemy to his enemy, which was then candidate John Dramani Mahama. So they appointed an enemy to seeing him as a friend, until he came out to say that, Akufo-Addo himself is the mother serpent of corruption. Then they realized that, let us get somebody. Look, I was on a platform in your studio when someone said that Kessie Jabing could not have been appointed without the knowledge of the top brass of the state, which is true. And they would have chosen one of their own, or somebody that they feel that will go more after their opponents than by themselves. But again, Kessie Jabing, as I know him, he taught me criminal law. He's a fine gentleman, very brilliant guy. But you cannot divorce the office from the person. It is the same thing. It's the person that mans the office. The office doesn't work. It's the person that works in the office. So if there's failure at the office, or there's incompetence at the office, it's the incompetence of the one who mans the office. It is not the office, just one office that says that we will say that the office is failing. No, it is the personality. So we cannot, it is not about being muddled. It is the same entity we are talking about. The office is just a group of people or a structure. But the buck stops with somebody who is handling the office. Now, Ghanaians are yearning for something that they cannot see, and they are blaming that on the person's money. I hope you saw the situation where the others who were also charged with Ken Oforiatta are filed for the judge to recuse herself. And you know the grounds they were coming under. Because they said that the judge is close to Anas had been loyal to Kessie Jabing. You see where we are going. Now, it shouldn't have been the issue, because you have to see real likelihood of bias. Otherwise, everybody will be shopping, looking for forum where to prosecute their cases. But some of these connections will be mentioned from time to time. So it is up to him to divorce himself from some of these connections that he's had in the past, properly so-called, so that he will stand independent and be able to discharge his duties. For those who are all trying to link him to Ken Ofori-Atta, to Nana Akufo-Addo, indeed, he couldn't have been appointed without the knowledge of some of these people. Not at all. It wouldn't have happened.
So you would say that you wouldn't begrudge anybody that opinion that, in fact, he may not be the best candidate for this particular office because of those.
You see, throughout Ghana, when the 2012-2013 election petition came up, you remember that MPP protested the presence of Justice Emeritus Atuguba.
Indeed.
When it was held that we are all connected somehow to somebody. It is the type of connection which will worry your judgment or cast a poor judgment on you, or to not to help you to make good judgment that we should be worried about. Indeed, we are all connected to somebody. I was having a case, and I realized that somebody who was handling the case was a classmate to one of the lawyers. What are you going to do? To say just because you were classmates, he couldn't do his business and get his money? No, we are all connected somehow to somebody.
Right.
But get the job done. That's the most important thing. So the inability to get the job done, that is the one that worries all of us.
Right. All right, Theophilus, let's get back to some more of the legalities and some more process about the process. Now, what are the possible outcomes of the committee's investigations? And I won't bore listeners with that because we've already talked through what happens once a petition has been sent through and the Chief Justice receives it and a committee is set up. Could it be that there is maybe a lesser sanction, or is it always the case that the next step has to be a removal if a prima facie case is established?
You know, when you are reading law or acts, you need to read the headlines, the head notes, and you read the act as a whole. The head note says removal of the OSP, the SP.
Right.
So the petition is leading to one thing, either the removal or non-removal. So there's no middle ground, because that is the heading. If it wanted you to say that for any other punishment, there will be a heading for any other punishment. But this talks about removal. So the outcome is either removal or non-removal.
Either removal
no middle ground.
Or non-removal. No middle ground. All right. Now, also at the beginning of the conversation, I asked listeners to ruminate on this particular conversation. It's one that I've cited on social media and beyond. And Ghanaians are asking, what is happening at the moment? Is it accountability at work, or are we normalizing a cycle of institutional instability and what some are calling political reset with every change of government? I say that with the case of CJ Tokonu in the rearview mirror. Do you think Ghanaians who are asking these questions are justified, or are the circumstances that prevail in this instance worthy of further examination?
The British have a saying that one bed doesn't make a summer. So to just use one instance in the past to say that is the trend, that cannot be the situation. I'll go more to the fact that Ghanaians are now more enlightened. Ghanaians have now been made aware that you can do ABC, which hitherto they don't know that can be done. Secondly, the environment. Hitherto there's that you say that you are making some of these applications. If you have made them, they'll find a way of not letting it flow as it should flow. But now there's an environment where people can make all these petitions, and the petitions will flow to where they need to flow to. So for me, it is about the environment, the enabling environment. The current regime led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not stifling anything. The next thing which I will talk about is the fact that they have enabled anybody to that can bring the petition, and they will do what the Constitution requires of them for the petition to go through. Those are the things happening at the moment. So it is, yes, accountability. It is an enabling environment for Ghanaians to talk, and it is also a situation where Ghanaians are now wide awake and know what they need.
Certainly. So then you wouldn't classify this as a mere petition spree, as I see one of our watchers on social media has termed it as. Now,
you see, we should be in a position where removing persons in such a position should be easy. It shouldn't be one that should be difficult. Reason being that if it is difficult, and I know that removal will be very difficult, why do I have to worry myself if I'm being incompetent or I'm performing my job poorly or I have infirmity of the body? It should be easy. So that persons who work there will work to their very maximum.
Now let's go to the EC chair as well as her deputies. Now we know that some 7 out of the 10 petitions are in their direction. Let me also get your preliminary thoughts on this. I can almost guess that you would say that you saw this coming. Am I right?
Yes, I saw it coming, and I advised that with the rumor swirling in the air, I would have advised that they should resign. Because once the process kickstarts, they don't have any chance to resign again. And if they so wish to resign later, they will not get anything, any of their benefits. So which one is better? And you have seen, again, as I said, the character of the dead is a lesson to the living. So you have seen that which has happened to somebody prior. So what you can do at this moment is to take steps so that you safeguard your years of labor and you don't allow your years of labor to go waste. So for me, yes, I've seen this coming up. Indeed, you are aware that the current EC supervised the situation where SAL was without representation in Parliament for 4 years. Yes, and you expect that those people will forgive them? No, they won't forgive them at all. I don't expect that. Then, of course, one group which has been championing for auditing and a lot of so-called independence of EC should be stripped up has been Imani Ghana. And the president of Imani Ghana is actually a native of SAL.
Right.
So he has two bones to pick with EC. And I don't foresee Franklin Kujo keeping quiet over the EC. No, they won't.
In fact, he has been quite vocal.
Yes, he has been quite vocal. And he will continue with his advocacy and how vocal he is. And knowing all this, I expect that the EC will do the right thing, or the chair and the deputies will do the right thing.
Now, again, with the processes of the committee, I see this question has also come up on our stream. And for those of you who are watching and listening, again, good morning to you. And this one says, what due process rights does the EC chairperson and their deputies have, such as representation, cross-examination, and providing counter evidence? I don't know if that can also apply to the OSP. Some questions popping up here about what due process rights these individuals have in these matters.
No, they all have. They will all be taken through due process, and for anything towards their removal. Yes, it will be. They will all be taken through due process. They will be given the opportunity to. There will be procedure to be used. Either they will use the Court Act or they will use any other procedure. They will all be taken to, given the opportunity to have the representation, given the opportunity to have their lawyers, etc. present. So that will not be a big issue. So I think that anybody worried along that line should relax. They will all have their representation. They will have the benefit of having their materials and counter evidence, as you say.
And also, I have Bandai constituency rerun on my mind now, and I know that's something that's in the pipeline, subject to whatever legalities may crop up. Now, can ongoing work of the EC be affected legally? For example, in this instance, can the chair stay in office during the investigation, or could certain powers be suspended? What does precedence tell us? And if there's no precedence, in your legal mind, how will their work be affected whilst this process is going on?
You know, I think Article 146 talks about a situation where the president may suspend. So I am not sure, top of my head, whether the suspension applies only to the Chief Justice or applies to everybody who is being under Article 146 scenario. If it applies to everybody who is under Article 146, then they could be suspended. And you know, sometimes these suspensions are not to punish anybody. They are only situations to make it that you don't interfere with investigations or with anything that is being done. That is just the reason why the suspension is supposed to be there. And the suspension is not generally a punishment. It is not a situation to tell you that you are guilty of all the issues raised in the petition. But it is just that you don't interfere with process. Imagine, for sake of argument, imagine that Justice Tokonu was in office whilst these petitions were ongoing. And imagine that Justice Tokonu was the one to empanel members of the Supreme Court to hear all these cases. Imagine who she would have empaneled. Imagine if there would not have been any arm twisting at the background, etc. Imagine if the things go in her favor, how people will react to it, to say that, hey, we know this was already going to be this way because you have appointed, you have empaneled them. So even in certain jurisdictions, when these things come, the persons tell their appointers that we want to step aside until investigations are completed so that we come back if we are exonerated. So for me, the good thing will be to step aside once the investigations begin.
Theophilus, very thankful for your time this morning. And
yes, before I go, someone asked me by way of message that where is Johnny Hughes?
Oh, he is taking a small breather, enjoying a small break, but he's hearty and he's well. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
All right.
Have a pleasant morning.
And a wonderful morning.
Yes. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. And that was Engineer Theophilus Jimega Jr., also Esquire, private legal practitioner, and also part of the NDC's legal team. Let me say good morning and also a very warm welcome to Austin Bracco Powers. And today he is suited and booted. It can only mean that you're headed to court after this.
Yes, probably that will be in the latter part of the day. So
okay. Looking very sharp indeed. Today I only see wins.
I'm trying to emulate you now.
Oh, with your boy cry. I only see wins in your future based on the attire alone. But it's good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you
We are talking about these 10 petitions that have been put forth to the president, and we now know subsequently forwarded to Chief Justice. And these concern some 10 petitions, 7 in the direction of the EC, 3 going to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I asked my listeners to ruminate on this particular question, and I'll throw it out to you because I think we've spent some time on the legal processes and on the Constitution as well. But do you think what is happening, somebody called it petition spree, do you think what is happening is accountability at work, or are we normalizing a cycle of institutional instability and political reset with every change of government?
You know what I think? I think this is a new trend of politically targeted petitions aimed at crippling independent institutions. My first question, this is a real question: are these petitions driven by genuine concerns for the protection of the state, or are they politically motivated to cripple independent state institutions? I doubt the former. I think this is a premeditated assault on independent state institutions. And my caution to this government is not to be encouraging such attitude. In fact, am I discouraging petitions? No, I'm not.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, what we are seeing appears to be a premeditated attempt. Now, here's the thing. Must we tolerate corruption? I don't think we need to tolerate corruption or even fundamental breaches of the law. I have not said anywhere that we should tolerate such a thing. But removal should be a process of last resort. It should not be our first response. If we establish that some infractions have been committed, the process must not be to remove everybody. That means that anytime we have occupants who maybe misconduct or who misconduct themselves in a manner that we feel amounts to a breach or fundamental breach of the law, we will remove them. And that cyclical process is what I'm trying to avoid.
Is that not a good thing, though, that therefore sends a message that out to whoever the office holders are, that we are zero tolerance on any kind of breach? Or are you saying that we're only human?
I'm not saying we are only human. I think we need. The thing is that first off, we need to get occupants of state institutions to know that they are working in the larger interest or the interest of the people, and not their personal or partisan interest. But in the same argument, we must also push for the argument that we build strong, formidable, and long-standing institutions when we reform, not remove. When you remove, one, you are damaging institutional memory and you are creating instability. Three, you are bringing what we call a culture of silence where occupants will be scared. Occupants of state institutions will be scared because they know if they misconduct themselves in any manner, they will be, removed. Helen, the thing is that stated misbehavior, I have said it times with that number, that it has not been defined. And chances are, persons who have been taxed to establish prima facie may even allow anything to pass in. That is the fear.
It's too loose of a definition.
There's no definition.
Right.
The Constitution has not attempted any definition. And that is the problem. That's one of the lacunas in the Constitution. And no other law has established or attempted to even has had a definition.
Right.
And that's where the challenge is. Now, what constitutes a stated misbehavior is unknown. In fact, it is vast. It could include a lot of things: corruption, even sometimes when you misconduct yourself and you write, let's say, a statute, a law asks you to do a particular thing, and you did something else. You could be even hounded or brought into the fold of stated misbehavior. So it is too wide. We need to circumscribe the term. We need to circumscribe it, right, so that then it will guide us. It will create what we call certainty in the application of the law. So, Helen, I am not against accountability, and I have said that no state institution is above the law, and no occupant of independent constitutional bodies is immune from accountability. But we must not use accountability as a ruse or veil to carry out political vendetta. Don't forget that this government, while in opposition, made scathing comments aimed at the basis of which they claimed to some. They even said that they will get rid of the EC boards, they will get rid of the deputies, even the chief justice.
You say this is merely premeditated.
Helen, this is a premeditated. This is an action that had been birthed years ago. So we are seeing the fruit. We are seeing, the someone will say Gani. Are you not scared by the sheer number of petitions, 7 as you were articulated, 7 against the EC chair and 2 deputies, and 3 against the OSP? What are the OSP done?
Now, I wanted us to quickly go to the OSP because I would say things have definitely reached fever pitch. The conversations, the murmuring started at the top of the year, and now it's December, and we've reached what I call a crescendo. Now, this seems to also be coming from the ordinary citizens. I don't know whether you also gauge that temperature. Do you think that the everyday Ghanaian who is on social media crying for the removal of the OSP has been influenced by the narrative of those who have the platforms, or is there something that the general consensus is informing that maybe this office of the special prosecutor is not fit for purpose? It would appear that the sole case concerning former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has become the reason why the OSP is likely to be shown the door. But is that wrong? If that's what Ghanaians are asking for, accountability from our former finance minister, that doesn't seem to be forthcoming from the OSP. Is that a wrong call?
But in fact, Helen, our major problem with the OSP is because we expect too much from the OSP. We expect too much.
Or has the OSP whet our appetite too much?
We expect too much from the OSP. Helen, we tend to behave as though the OSP is the only institution that can fight corruption in this country. That is not the case. The OSP is yet another institution, a complementary institution that has been established to help in our anti-corruption fight. Why do we impose every responsibility, all the responsibility on the OSP. It's because we expect too much from the OSP. And that is where the disappointment lies. Because you see, in life, when you expect too much of someone and the person disappoints you, you will feel it.
Has the OSP disappointed us?
He has not. I think many people are living in their own balloon, in their own world. I have heard many say, Helen, that the OSP has not secured any conviction. And sometimes I cringe. And sometimes...
Let's put that up on the board. As far as prosecutions are concerned and convictions, the OSP, we have a slide that details some work that they've done.
Very well. Helen, I think the thing is, the OSP has done creditably well. Many people may not believe it, but you see, conviction does not always mean being given or handed a jail time. It doesn't mean go and serve jail time in Sawam or maybe any other places. Conviction means you have been convicted on the basis of your own plea.
Let's get that slide up. Let's get that slide up. We have other one talks about some
the
convictions, some appeal. As one appeal is a slide that has all the different. There we go. There we go.
Yes. 7 convictions. I went through, you remember the media report that they released? We were even in the studio, we discussed it.
Yes.
I went through it and I realized that the OSP had secured 7 convictions. And many of these convictions, we retrieve our monies. In fact, we retrieve some of the monies.
If we say that Kissi Agyebeng has been in office for, let's say, about 70 years, although the timelines, we can't even say 7 years because of the office and some of the things.
All the issues.
But if we were to say, okay, 7, maybe over a span of 3-4 years, the average Ghanaian thinks that's not enough.
No. They think the years are too many.
The convictions are too low for the number of years that the OSP has been in operation.
And that is why, Helen...
Are we naive?
No, that's why, I won't say naive. I will say that we are not well enlightened on the role of, or regards to the responsibility of the OSP.
Okay.
Why are we expecting the OSP to prosecute everybody? Is the OSP the only institution that prosecutes people in this country? That is why, Ellen, I pointed out that the OSP is a complementary state institution that had been established to fight corruption. Don't forget, the OSP is not independent. In fact, the OSP's powers were carved out of the powers of the Attorney General, based on Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, were carved out. And when you read the OSP's Act 959, particularly Section 4, it tells you that despite the fact that the OSP is not subject to the control or direction of anybody, the OSP prosecutes based on the orders of the Attorney General. What is the Attorney General doing? How many convictions has the Attorney General secured? Within the last, let's say this, within the space of maybe 8 months, 9 months, how many convictions has the Attorney General secured? In fact, we are not even talking about jail time. We are talking about even how many retrievals, how many monies has the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, retrieved for the country.
You say maybe we should even put it vis-a-vis what the OSP is doing.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. We can do the comparative analysis. We are expecting the OSP to be prosecuting former government appointees of the Appiah-Ampofo government. That is not the case. The OSP's functions are well circumscribed. They prosecute based on, for one, corruption and corruption-related activities under the Procurement Act. So why do you want the OSP to be prosecuting? The OSP cannot prosecute for money laundering. Why are we expecting the OSP to be doing it? I think, and Helen, it troubles me. We think conviction means the moment you file a case in court, you should get it. It takes time. It takes time. In fact, which is why for instance, I've commended the judge who handled the Lumbers case.
Okay.
The one between Akosia Sewa and the Bushampeni and the 2 others. I commended the judge because the judge was able to fast track, expedite the action, and even handed down her decision. That is what we expect our judges to be doing. Within the space of 6 months, 7 months, Give your ruling.
Right.
Control the process. Because when a case is in court, you the judge, you are the umpire. You control the process. So, Helen, we need to be telling Ghanaians, we are expecting too much from that OSP. And that is where the disappointment lies.
This brings me to an interesting conversation you and I had I think it was months ago or so. And we talked about the Attorney General's posturing during some of these press conferences, and that being the basis for which ordinary Ghanaians are asking, well, what is going on with oral? Do you see any similarities between that posturing and that of the special prosecutor, especially in the case of Ken Ofori-Atta? And I think my argument at the time was that, well, as a prosecutor, you should be confident in your case, and nobody should begrudge you that posture if you come and you seem almost certain that a conviction is secure. Do you think that that same posturing is what has come to bite the OSP or the special prosecutor in the behind?
Ellen, you remember the last time we had this conversation, I said that the OSP is supposed to be conservative. The OSP is not a political appointee. He is not being appointed as a political appointee. He is there to do an independent work. But surprisingly, it looks like the OSP at a point started behaving like the Attorney General. Then he started organizing press conferences, started saying so many things, promising, telling Ghanaians, I have discovered this, I have discovered that, I have discovered this.
Is a prosecutor that's confident that he has what it takes to nail these people?
How do you manage? The thing is, there's one thing churning out or conveying information to the public. There's another thing drawing conclusions based on what you have. Mind you, Helen, what you claim to be evidence may not even stand the test of time in court. You get it? Because the thing is that the opposing counsel has an opportunity to oppose or reject your evidence, and the court will have to make their determination. So I have said that you can tell Ghanaians, I have discovered these things. I realize they have A, B, C, D. But we will take it to court, and the court will determine that. That has not been the case in all the press conferences I have heard the OSP address and the Attorney General address. They made conclusive comments that they are going to secure conviction with the information that they have discovered. And I have said that is not how we build a nation. You are giving the people, you are making the people, or you are raising the expectation of the people. And when you fail to meet that expectation, that is where the disappointment comes in. So the issue or the problem that the OSP is currently facing is because Ghanaians are expecting too much from the OSP. For me, Helen, if you ask me, I don't expect too much from the OSP.
Okay.
I think we need to manage the expectation of Ghanaians. Fighting corruption cannot be done overnight. If somehow we have discovered the political will by reason of the election of President John Mahama, let us know that this is not a wishful thinking. This cannot be done overnight. You cannot organize a press conference and prosecute people. You cannot organize a press conference and convict people. You cannot organize a press conference and have someone a jail time. That must run through or must be sanctioned by a court of competent jurisdiction. So let's manage the expectation of Ghanaians. I think the OSP should not be hounded. The OSP has done creditably well. The OSP needs to be allowed, or we need to allow the OSP to carry out its mandate and do its work. But the OSP too must be conservative. It is the OSP's own words that are coming back to bite him. And the actions of his deputies, his office holders, other officers.
In fact, there's one in particular that always comes up. I don't want to single anybody out, but I believe the director of communications has even come under fire for constant.
I have, Ellen, his way of is too combative. Yes, very combative. But, and I said it in this studio, that the OSP is supposed to engage in corporate communication. Corporate communication. You cannot be combative. So an ordinary Ghanaian you make a post, an ordinary Ghanaian will comment, what have you done so far? Then you attack the person. That is not how this person may be, for all you know, may be coming from a place of ignorance. It is for you to educate the person. But how do you educate someone to understand that indeed what you are saying is the right thing? It is the way you communicate.
Right.
The tonation. That's why even sometimes when you are speaking, your tone when you are speaking, someone can say you are angry, even though you may claim that my words could not or should not lead to that interpretation, but your tone. The OSP's response on their social media platforms their responses are too combative, Helen. They are attacking the citizens. These are people who will defend you one day, and you are attacking them by merely asking innocent question. What have you done? What have you done to bring Ken Oforiatta to Ghana? But these are matters you need to take your time, educate them. They don't know.
Right.
So, Helen, the OSP is in this trouble because of its own feelings. But if you ask me, I don't think the OSP has misbehaved in a manner that warrants what is going through.
You think that he should be allowed to carry out the tenure so that we can see some more results like we've put up on the screen?
I think, Helen, we don't build creditable institutions, formidable and strong institutions by removing people.
We'll see how this conversation unfolds. Today we sought to put some more flesh on the bones, but the conversation is ever evolving, especially on the part of the OSP. I would have gotten into some of the more sinister twists and turns as far as the personality of the special prosecutor is concerned and what is being alleged as far as political affiliations is concerned, but I'm sure Austin and I can get into that at a later date. But quickly though, I did want to pick your thoughts on this latest press release coming from the Menchia Palace. Yesterday we brought you some more on that. A man on the beat, Evans Inkum, was in Menchia to give us a feel of what was going on. It's a fairly lengthy one, but it's up on Facebook. Your final thoughts, Austin, on what has happened. We're going to be getting a full report according to the conclusion of this release in due course. But so far we know that His Majesty Otumfuo Seitu II Asante Hene has rounded off his mediation, having both contending parties in one place to give their views. Yes.
Service, yeah.
What do you make of this?
I think there must be an end to a conflict. Yes, and the Boku conflict must come to an end.
Okay.
Because I think it is in our interest, and it should be in the interest of everybody, every Ghanaian, to see peace in Boku. Because when there is a light of conflict, at one point, if you don't solve it, it will spread. I mean, it starts like fire. When you spot fire somewhere, you need to quench it, else it will spread. We need to encourage the feeding parties to smoke the peace pipe.
Right.
And we are grateful to His Majesty Otumfuo for the work he has done. We believe the president will now have to, when he receives the report, the president will now have to act on it so that we can have lasting peace in Boku. The people need economic development. They need a lot of empowerment. Let's get these things done. Development, we should get structures, infrastructure projects underway so that everybody, everywhere, every nook and cranny in this country will develop. Then we'll live in the prosperous life that we are expecting.
Certainly, Austin. Always a pleasure to speak with you. Great to see you. Wishing you a prosperous day. Based on the attire alone, it is already done. Let me quickly speak to Victor Doke just for some 2 minutes on this one, get his thoughts on that, and then we will progress with the show. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us on the program.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
We'll make this a short engagement. I know you have a very busy day. I just wanted to get your thoughts as we know that His Majesty Otumfuo Seitu II Asante Hene yesterday finished or concluded his mediation process with the two contending parties as far as the Boku situation is concerned. I'm sure that sounds like music to your ears. What are you looking forward to once that report is provided to the president?
Right. Thank you very much. So let me commend the for his role in all of this, and then his wisdom in navigating the whole process and event with dealing with the Appiah-Ampofo group. So one, I expect that the report will be very fair in that it would directly tackle the issues that are at hand presented by the two sides that promotes their needs, their wants, and their interest. And then whoever, that seems not to be satisfied with the report should take the legal grounds. Legal grounds, I mean the channel that we all understand as law-abiding citizens, and not take the law into their own hands. I expect that, the report will also focus on the youth also with regards to peace building, and then also how CSOs can come in to help build peace in the area. Enforcement of the regulations or reports specifically with regards to whoever, rival chiefs or whoever they have in there, should be followed out and then implemented to the latter. And I expect that when the recommendations or reports have been implemented, the state central government would be very, very careful in implementing. Stakeholders that will be tasked to implement the report or the recommendations should be neutral as much as possible. And then I would also entreat all analysts or experts, commentators, should be very mindful when the time comes of their narratives, so it doesn't inflame passion. Now we are hoping and trusting the two sides will continue to adhere to the peace, even when the report is submitted and being implemented. That is the time that we all need to see that the process they've gone through with the Asante Hene has paid off, and they have understood the violence would not solve the issue, but rather Jojo and then take the legal grounds that are acceptable to everyone.
Doc, thank you so much for your take on this. Always grateful for your time this morning, and also always on the 3FM Sunrise platform. And that was Dr. Victor Doke. He is a security lecturer and also an analyst. And that concludes our big conversation for the morning.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day.
The universe, yes, we do say so ourselves. We'll pause now for a very quick break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into womanpreneurs, so do buckle up, get excited. There's a lot more coming your way right here on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
The years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
Right here on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. And it is still a winning season, and as you know, we're not just chasing wins, we are collecting them. The luckiest is back again, bigger and better, with chances to change your life. Let me show you easy ways to get in the game. First, grab your mobile device, simply dial *712#, that's *712#, and choose option 1 to buy a ticket for yourself or option 2 to buy for someone else. Do you want the system to generate a lucky ticket for you? You go with option 1 again. Prefer to choose your own ticket number. That's option 2. Confirm your payment with Momo and boom, you are in. Now for the online way. Simply head over to theluckiestafrica.com. That's theluckiestafrica.com and register. Tap on community tickets to either pick your own lucky number or let the system choose one for you. You can also buy a ticket for someone else. When it's time to pay, use Momo if you are in Ghana or pay with your card if you are abroad. One ticket can multiply your money by 500 times and your entire community could win 10 times over. This is your golden chance. Hop on and let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere. Get stuck straight into Womanpreneur. I've got a very special guest in the studio this morning. Ifwa Sutherland, CEO of Terra Alta, is in the studios. Hi, Ifwa. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks
How are we
for
doing?
having me. I'm doing good this morning. Thanks.
You woke up on the right side of bed today, I can tell.
Yeah, I think so.
And you've had breakfast?
I have not yet had breakfast.
Okay.
So we'll work on that after this.
1 out of 2 is not too bad. But you're looking very healthy this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for deciding to join. Am I?
Yes, you are. I like the blue on you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, the name Ifwa Sutherland, it's pretty iconic.
Yes.
Yes. The connection is there?
It is there.
Oh, the Ifwa Sutherland.
That's my paternal grandmother. So,
very exciting. Must be very interesting being named after her, and I'm sure it's something that people ask you all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Ifwa Sutherland, is it the Ifwa Sutherland? Okay, well, now you know. For those of you listening, it is the Ifwa Sutherland. We're also, of course, streaming on our platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Good morning, hello. If you've joined us on this segment of Womanpreneur. So let's get stuck straight into it. Terra Alta, what is it that you do? Tell us more.
So I actually do, so I have a space called Terra Alta that has been in existence for about 8 years now.
Okay.
But I've been an artist. I studied theater, I studied contemporary performance, which is like adding in interactive multimedia stuff into performance. And I wasn't really finding space for like rehearsal, for artist development when I came back to Ghana because I studied abroad. And so that was kind of the birth of Terra Alta. I was like trying to make space for artists who need to spend some time with an idea, spend some time actually like working on the idea before you start making it. Because this idea of development in Ghana is a bit difficult because funding is not really available.
Right.
And sometimes you have to kind of jump into a project right when you are doing the project, which is not ideal for art. You want to spend as much time as possible so that you can kind of really flesh it out, kind of have some conceptual framework to it. So that was kind of the genesis of the space.
So this, what you studied was at uni?
At uni, yeah.
At uni. Is that a very niche, beg your pardon, a very niche subject where you incorporate, you say, media into what you do? Is that very niche or is that just part of the course as far as the arts are concerned?
It's not so niche, I think, out of Ghana. I think here we are still really strong in like very traditional ways of performing. So what people study here is like traditional theater.
Okay.
But because the world has advanced so much, so I mean, you look at videos from like China and stuff, they're using screens, they're using sensors, they're using all sorts of computer programming in the work. So instead of having maybe a traditional props or scenery, they're really incorporating different types of technology, both in theater and in film.
Okay.
So the course that I was studying was kind of pushing people to explore some of these alternative ways of staging productions. So not just like a normal stage and people standing there performing, or even like people have started using more screens in Ghana, but still very like a background.
Okay.
So things that are more interactive, so you can actually like use a Kinect camera, which is normally used for gaming, to be able to tell where performers are, and then you can link sensors and stuff to have the background respond to the performer or even respond to like an audience member. So there's all this technology available.
That's very interesting. Is that like basically incorporating all your senses whilst you're at the theater?
Exactly.
Maybe somebody can even come and brush your arm. Okay. Now, talking about developing one's idea further, how important is it to have a space where you are able to conceptualize, I don't know, sit with yourself, sit with the ideas before you actually get into that production stage or even writing stage? Talk to us about that process.
Yeah, I mean, obviously every artist is a bit different in terms of their process, but what happens when you have space beforehand is you build out the world of what we call the world of the play. So there will be some things like the setting or the both the historical setting or the time setting. So let's say I was going to do a play about set in the 50s, around the time or early 60s, where Nkrumah has just come out of power, and there's a story that's set in Ghana in that time period. I could just do the story. But if I really understand the political context, the historical context, what were people going through, what would really have been in people's minds, I'll be able to understand what the characters are going through in a more realistic way. And then therefore, when I'm directing them, I can give more accurate accurate is not maybe the best word, but I can kind of tap into the emotional psyche of those people a little bit better than if I had just stayed on the surface. But also things like details, like what were they actually wearing? So you see, a lot of times people will struggle with historical plays because the costumes are not that accurate. So it's olden days, we just do a long dress. But depending on which decade or of which century, the dresses, yes, they are long, but there are little differences in terms of silhouette or the types of fabrics that would have been available. So if you are doing a play about an economic downturn, the fabrics the character are going to be wearing is going to be different than in a regular time period. People would have mended their clothes more as opposed to now. So you'll see maybe a patch on somebody's dress, or you'll see lighter fabrics. But if people are doing well economically, they'll dress differently, they'll eat differently, they'll carry themselves differently. And so it really has an impact on storytelling and therefore on emotion and this idea of authenticity, that people can really actually resonate, that this feels right for the time period that I'm trying to portray.
Now, opening up a space like Terra Alta, I'm very nosy, so I'm getting into your pockets a little bit, into the business side of things. For any budding womanpreneur that's looking to do something that's similar, was it a capital intensive venture? How does the day-to-day running go? Is it something that puts money into your pockets, or is it a passion project?
It has 100% been a passion project. It was very capital intensive. I was very blessed. Actually, the land is my grandmother's land. So that was a huge upfront settlement that was able to allow me to start in the way that I did. I did start small. I think sometimes people frown on taking your time and doing one thing at a time, but I think because I was much younger, I had the energy to do it. And we're actually at a point now where I'm trying to pivot a little bit in terms of the scale of what we were trying to do and take a little bit of a break. Because yes, there has been more income, but from things like events would be more profitable. But because we're really trying to support artists, because I'm very passionate about theater, not just theater, but I work across different media, so film. We've been doing VR projects. We've been doing a number of different things and residencies. So really kind of developing, like we said, artists so that they have the time and the resources that they need, which are not always just financial, but like books to reference from, images to reference from. So in terms of the business side of it, that's something that really needs to be thought about, because it doesn't really make a lot of business sense in Ghana to have this type of work done, because abroad you would have a lot of concessions from the government, for instance, where they would give you a tax break, they would give you different incentives to make sure that you are, because you're taking care of a social need in a lot of different ways. But business structures and all of that, so this is like a period that we're in, kind of exploring what would really make sense for this type of space in Ghana, because it was modeled after a lot of programs that happen in different countries where there is a lot of government support and incentives. So there's an experiment going on now to see how we restructure the space.
Well, how do you assess then the arts industry then in Ghana? Would you say that we're progressing, are we regressing, or are we stagnant at this point?
I think that in terms of the artists have always been vibrant. But in terms of the business side of things, a lot of people have struggled and will end up having to rely on non-arts income sources to make the art work. So you'll have maybe a real estate model where you are, like we were doing, where you rely on rentals in order to support the artists, or you rely on ticket sales, which actually should not be the case. You should have some base amount of funding to make that work, ideally. But in cases where you don't have that funding or you don't have those incentives, because even if you think about December in Ghana, who are people coming to see? It's the people, it's the shows. So when we think about tourism, we think about arts industry, we are really missing out. If you take a regular show that we do, we're dealing with carpenters, we're dealing with caterers, we're dealing with event spaces, we're dealing with parking attendants, we're dealing with all sorts of industries that have nothing to do with art. But we are the ones bringing in the people that will make it possible for those people to charge what they're charging.
That's right.
But then we get taxed heavily, because the tax rate is above 20%, which is more than VAT, which is kind of crazy if you think about how expensive it is to put something up.
Very, very expensive. And they know where to find you. They just hear your ghetto blaster and they're there. Trust me, I know. They're knocking on your door. And that's a very important conversation, because the arts does widen the economic scope. And thinking about it now, from the person that's going to be selling drinks and, like you said, parking attendants, the caterers and all of that. But that seems to be missing in that conversation, how much more revenue the arts does rake in. What is your incentive to keep on going in a place where the arts, they're not bringing in the moolah? You know, everybody's in business to eat, to put something in their pocket.
Yeah, I think the way we tell stories as a people about ourselves, about where we are, about our nation, shapes our experience, our living experience, our lived experience. So if our stories and our storytellers are not in a good place, our nation is not going to be in a good place. Because you can put in as much policy, as much many measures as you want, but if we're not telling ourselves the right things and we're not understanding our context and where we are in the world, we're not going to move anywhere. So sometimes you'll see a lot of activity but no movement. And I think some of even the issues we're having around conflict, around different parts of the country, around development, around education, if the storytelling is focused on the wrong things, so if it's Western focused versus us focused, we're gonna always have a lot of problems from top to bottom, because people don't really believe it in their hearts that this is something that resonates with me. So even about trash, the stories we tell ourselves about rubbish and how dirty the city is, if we can change that, that's what will change people's attitude. There's no amount of billboards or activations that you do. If people don't have the correct story in their hearts and in their minds, things are not going to change. So for me, that's the driver.
I like what you said. A lot of, activity, but not so much movement. Well, the festive season is upon us. It is already the 2nd of December. What does Terra Alta look like when the festive season rolls around, aka Dirty December? Is it a very busy time? And what are some of the interesting things that you guys have up your sleeves?
Yeah, so our show that is coming up is on the 4th, so this Thursday actually.
Okay.
And it is an adaptation of Handel's Messiah, but with local instruments and with dancers, and using some multimedia elements as well. So that's happening this Thursday, 7 p.m. at Nubuke Foundation.
Okay, that's in East Legon.
In East Legon.
Nubuke Foundation. In East Legon. So wait, we're going to be, somebody will come and touch my arm during the play, or what's going
Somebody's going to pass very close to you. And there are going to be some surprises. So
I am intrigued.
Yes. I don't want to share too much, but it's a little bit experimental, so it will be a bit different than the Handel that people are used to. And that's the show that has Hallelujah chorus for Unto Us a Child is Born, for people who know that show. But it's a little bit of a spin, and we're excited about it.
Interesting. So if you've been listening to what A4 has been saying and you're thinking, what is she talking about? And different media and on Thursday, make your way to Nubuke in East Legon, and you can get a practical feel of what the arts really can be like when we infuse different elements. So you say local instruments, like what kind of instruments?
So we are focusing on the Itumpan and Seperwa at this moment.
Whomst?
Seproa is the stringed instrument.
Oh.
It's like a 6-string. So Osei Kranchi at University of Ghana, Legon, he's a master in it. But this is one of his students who's playing.
Okay.
And then we have Etumpan, played by a guy called Moro, who's a really good percussionist. But we also have Edu Burks, who's an experimental percussionist. He uses a lot of samples and electronic drums instead of the regular set.
What's an electronic drum?
It's just a drum pad that has, so it's not it's linked up to a computer.
I'm going to see things on Thursday.
Please go and see things. Come and see things.
I think we're going to have some ballet in there.
There's some
I think one of our past womanpreneurs is going to be there, Loretta, doing all kinds of... Hey, African ballet! Guys, you're going to want to make your way. And how much does it cost for us to get a feel of this very exciting performance?
Well, tickets are 180 cedis. And
you have to
so
add
that's more. You can take your
have to add more
your
to
dates
this.
along with you.
Electronic drum,
and
African ballet, immersive. Oh, come on! If you chat double crowd will come. But for now, it's 180 Nubuki, East Legon on Thursday, 7 p.m. sharp. And for projecting into the future, what are your hopes and dreams for Terra Alta, and then also for the art scene in Ghana in general?
Yeah, we are developing a residency program at the moment. We've already had people come, which is just, again, a space where people can come and take some time on a specific project that they've already kind of conceived, and then we help them work on that. So hopefully in the next year, we'll be seeing what that looks like concretely. So it'll be space for people to actually come and stay and work on their stuff. And then for the art scene, I'm really hoping that regulatory wise, that I think some conversations have started already, and I'm really hoping that it bears fruit in terms of making it easier for artists to work, to do their own work, and to be taken more seriously.
Now, is that something that you're involved in, maybe on the back end, regulation, policy? Do you have any ties to that at the minute?
I have been involved with the Ghana Culture Forum, which has been doing a lot of advocacy, and there are a few other conversations happening. So yeah, we'll see where things go with all those things.
Fantastic. Yeah. I love what you do. It's not easy being what we call creative in this part of the world, giving all the limitations, but it's the passion that fuels the job. And you've been doing this for a while now. Others have packed their bags and they're out of here, but you're still here doing the Lord's work as we term it. Where can we find you on the socials?
On Instagram at Ifwa Sutherland. That's Ifwa with an EFUA Sutherland. Yeah.
And we can also find Terra Alta
at
on
Terra
the socials.
Alta_GH. Yeah.
At Terra Alta_GH. Go and have a peek today and see what is happening over on that side. Of course, you can play back this interview on YouTube, on Facebook as well. Ifwa, thank you so much for being our guest this morning on Womanpreneur. Very intrigued about all it is that you're doing. I want to hear all the electronic D&D and the electronic this. So on Thursday, I'll certainly be there. And what is the title of the performance or the play?
Messiah.
All right. All right. If you want to see all the wonderful interventions, media, multimedia, everything combined, but African ballet, what's the name of the guitar?
Seproa,
all of that's going to be there on Thursday. Make your way to Nubuke, 7 p.m. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This December, give your kids